KL6DE, Wells River.
Serving northeast Vermont and northwest New Hampshire since 1976. WYKR, Haverhill. It's 6 o'clock.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump has fired the last remaining members of the independent commission that helped state election officials. Multiple outlets reported Thursday that the last three members of the Bipartisan Election Assistance Commission were notified of their terminations via email. The Election Assistance Commission was created in 2002 to assist states with elections. Its duties include certifying voting systems and maintaining mail-in voter forms. The former supreme leader of Iran has been buried in his hometown. More from Mark Mayfield.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in February by U.S. and Israeli airstrikes, but his funeral was postponed because of the war in Iran. On Friday, Iranian state media said Khamenei had been buried at the country's holiest Shia Muslim shrine in his hometown of Mashhad. The private ceremony followed a week of public mourning that drew large crowds in Tehran and other cities. The burial comes after President Trump said during this week's NATO summit in Turkey that the ceasefire with Iran was over. I'm Mark Mayfield.
It turns out the man who was killed by ICE agents in Texas earlier this week was not the man they were looking for. Immigration agents killed a man during a traffic stop in Houston on Tuesday after claiming he tried to run them over in his van. On Thursday, the Department of Homeland Security said the ICE agents were looking for two people from Guatemala who were not in the van. The man who was driving the van was a Mexican immigrant named Lorenzo Araujo, who had lived in the U.S. for 35 years. The agents, who were not wearing body cameras at the time, claimed they shot Araujo when he tried to use his van as a weapon. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says Mexico plans to pursue legal action against the United States. Country music singer John Rich will be sworn in at the White House today as a special envoy for American landowners at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
These words are from the One-Year Bible, the entire New International Version.
Rescue me, O Lord, from evil men. Protect me from men of violence who devise evil plans in their hearts and stir up war every day. They make their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. The poison of vipers is on their lips. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Protect me from men of violence who plan to trip my feet. Proud men have hidden a snare for me. They have spread out the cords of their net and have set traps for me along my path. O Lord, I say to you, you are my God. Hear, O Lord, my cry for mercy.
These words of inspiration are from the One-Year Bible and have been brought to you by your Southern Baptist friends.
At Legendary Towing, they take control so you don't have to. Breakdown, slide off, accident, no worries. Legendary Towing is on call 24/7 across the Upper Valley and beyond. Their professional drivers know how to take control of any situation safely, calmly, and with confidence. They assist local and state police. If you find yourself in a bad spot, request Legendary Towing. Call 802-222-3828 anytime. They can get you straight to Bradford Auto Works for auto repair or to Legendary Auto Works for collision repair. It's Friday, July 10th. Horse Meadows Senior Center is serving pork roast, baked potato, broccoli, and peaches, 11:30 to 12:30 today. Reminding you all meals include bread, milk, coffee, and juice along with salad bar. Pork roast, baked potato, broccoli, and peaches at Horse Meadows Senior Center in North Haverhill today.
The RG Senior Center in the Bradford Community Building is open and serving congregate meals on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. The meal for this Friday, July 10th, will be pork roast, mashed potatoes, green beans, and dessert. For those 60 and over, the suggested donation per meal is $5, and for those under 60, the cost per meal is $8. Takeout meals are available as well.
On the menu at the West Barnett Senior Meal Site for Friday, July 10th. In-house diners will be served a buffet. For takeout, hamburger stroganoff, pasta, mixed vegetables, salad, homemade roll, and apple crisp. In-house dining starts at 11:30 a.m. Takeout orders are required by calling 603-638-4002.
Do you own a small business or offer a service?
Get listed in the Bridge Weekly Service Directory for just $7 an issue. 30 words mailed to thousands every week. It's the easiest way to stay top of mind in your community. Sign up today at thebridgeweekly.com.
Hey, good morning. 5 minutes after 6, after picking up some pretty good rain last night. We'll talk more about the rain and the dryness leading up to it when we chat with Mark Breen shortly after 7:30 this morning. I'm Stephen John. A lot of guests that we'll be talking with this morning, either previously or on the phone, or they'll be live in our studio. A lot of great conversations still to come your way this morning. Meanwhile, let's take a look at that forecast. We're in the mid-60s right now, heading for maybe 80 degrees again today. It's brought to you by Manchester Brick Materials, where they offer crushed stone and ledge products. We will rock you at Manchester Brick Materials. They're in East Drygate and also at 596 Crossroad in Waterford.
Is part of your property too tough to mow, or do you need a new driveway, or must fix your old one? Ask Manchester Brick Materials for a quote today. Plus for topsoil, erosion stone, riprap, and stay mat. Plus crushed stone products from 3/4-inch plant nicks up to 5 inches. Manchester Brick Materials will deliver or load it for you. 6:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. to 12 noon Saturdays, or by appointment. We will rock you with competitive pricing and estimates. Call 802-633-4122.
From the Fairbanks Museum, the forecast for today: partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, with the highest chances in the morning. Highs will be from the 70s to low 80s. Then tonight, mostly clear with a chance of valley fog. Lows will be in the 50s to nearing 60. And on Saturday, skies becoming partly to mostly sunny. Highs will be from the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm meteorologist Megan Duncan for WYKR.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. Approaching 7 minutes after 6:66 and heading for the low 80s today. Well, the forecast looks good for a lot of activities happening outside tomorrow. There'll be some motorcycles on the ride and also a lot of bicyclists that will be on the road with the Proudy that's happening. So be sure to look out and be careful in regards to the motorcyclists, pedestrians, and the bicyclists that are going to be on the road tomorrow. And the weather's looking pretty good for those events, by the way. We'll tell you more about those as the morning progresses. But first, the weather forecast this time around, brought to you by Manchester Brick Materials. Be sure to call Darcy at 802-633-4122. Manchester Brick Materials has 2 convenient locations. They can help you out. They're at 596 Crossroad, Waterford, Route 5 Northeast Drygate. Again, 802-633-4122.
Maybe this will be the final time Celtic fans will have to listen to Jason Tatum explaining what happened. He did it on the Today Show.
It's tough. You know, you're a professional athlete, and everything we do is publicized and nitpicked. You know, we played together for 9 years. There was a period of our career where we hadn't won a championship yet. We were only 23 and 21 years old, and so they just had to figure out a reason why we hadn't won yet.
Eventually, the Celtics of Brown and Tatum did win a world title. Since then, at times, weird. Again, Jason Tatum.
You know, we played together for 9 years. Hadn't won a championship yet. Expectations were so high, and so they just had to figure out a reason why we hadn't won yet. And, you know, they tried to pin us against each other, and we had 9 amazing years together.
Still a Celtic player, Jason Tatum. Follow me, Tom Cuddy Sports.
And today is the 10th of July already. We're at 66 right now, heading for the low 80s. Taking a look at the weather forecast for all of Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire. Being brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. And that's a really big deal. That's in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus that comes at no charge with the purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. Wells River Chevrolet is proud to be part of the Autosaver Group, and that's a really good deal. Being in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus comes with no charge with a purchase or lease of every vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. What does that mean for you? 2 years of unlimited scheduled maintenance, unlimited oil filter changes and tire rotations, lifetime state inspections, and so much more. Wells River Chevrolet is proud to be part of the Autosaver Group. Same great people, same great experience, and a Big Deal Plus. WellsRiverChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum, the forecast for today: partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, with the highest chances in the morning. Highs will be from the 70s to low 80s. Then tonight, mostly clear with a chance of valley fog. Lows will be in the 50s to nearing 60. And on Saturday, skies becoming partly to mostly sunny. Highs will be from the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm meteorologist Megan Duncan for WYKR.
Hey, Megan, thank you very much. And shortly after 7:30, right after the birthdays and anniversaries, we'll be chatting with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum. Find out what's in store for the rest of the weekend and maybe even how much rain was picked up overnight. 66, heading for the low 80s. That's the latest weather heading into the weekends, brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. Same great people, same great experience. And now the Big Deal Plus, they're on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. And right around 7:45, as we do every couple of weeks, we'll be chatting with Ted Cooper from Wells River Chevrolet. And a reminder again, with the great weather that's forecasted for tomorrow, the Proudy will be taking place. That means there will be a lot of bicyclists and pedestrians on Route 10 and Route 5, pretty much from here south. And then the Jazzy's Children Ride will be taking place. They'll be starting at Three Bears Country Barn and then ending at the American Legion in Woodsville tomorrow afternoon. So there's going to be a lot of activities on the highways, so be careful out there. Coming up in just a moment, Joshua Smith chatted with Marvin Harrison in regards to the garden tour, which is part of the COHASE Chamber of Commerce. The summer liquidation sale of budget lumber stock inventory continues because the owner is retiring. As a thank you to all of the value customers, all in-stock inventory is now 75% off. That's right, 75% off. For a complete listing, check the Bridge Weekly Showcase, or better yet, stop by the store and check it out. Budget Lumber is located under the historic water tower in tax-free North Haverhill, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Budget kitchens and baths are exempt from this sale.
We're excited to have over the phone with us in the studio Marvin Harrison, and you are here talking about the COHASE Chamber Garden Tour.
I am. It's our 14th annual garden tour. I've been visiting gardens throughout the region for 14 years. It's a long time, but it still keeps on. The plants keep on blooming, and people keep on coming and wanting to see the gardens. So Sunday, July 19th is coming up soon, and we will be venturing through the region with 5 gardens open. We're going to kick off at the Wells River Savings Bank in Bradford, Vermont this year, at starting 10:45 in the morning to about 1, because the gardens will be open till 3, but we want to make sure that people have enough time to get to the gardens. So that's what it is. It's $20 a person. Kids 12 and under are free. Most kids 12 and under aren't really excited about touring gardens, but occasionally there are some, which is cool. So tickets are $20 a person and can be purchased online at www.cohase.org, or at the gate, where we're going to hand out maps and guides. It's a self-guided tour, Josh, so that people will have good directions and good descriptions, and also some coupons from some of our sponsors, which is pretty neat, because you have a chance to go to North Haverhill Agway, or a new sponsor, Piermont Pots and Plants, which is Jean Underhill, who used to work at Plant Pantry, now has her own operation, and so she's a sponsor this year too. So it's you can get much of your money back by using coupons at those places, which is kind of cool. So we're ready. We're getting the final pieces in place, and as I say, it'll be on Sunday, the 19th of July. We also sponsors Wells River Savings Bank, North Country Organics, and Bar Harbor Bank and Trust are additional sponsors, and we thank all of our friends for their support, because it really helps to be in a position where if we get a lousy day, which we've had before, not as many people seem to want to come out. Although last year it was kind of rainy, and there were a lot of happy gardeners out there with their rubber boots and umbrellas, or raincoats. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
And like what you mentioned, Marvin, too, is like with North Haverhill Agway and also Piermont Pot and Petals, chances are with those coupons you'll probably get your money back as well with what you get from those stores as well from what you spend on the garden tour. And so Marvin, you're the chair of because I know what I love seeing, like the COHASE Chamber of Commerce seems to be doing a lot like the last few years. They're all over the place. And are you the de facto chair of the garden tour?
Well, de facto, I think, is the best way of describing it. Yeah. Actually, we get a lot of help from former board member Ann Morrill Dahl, who now lives down in actually just over the border of Lyme. And Ann is very into gardening, and she's also very technically savvy. So she does a whole lot of our maps and all that, directions and things like that, and helps line up gardens and things. So it's good to have her on board. But yeah, I'm kind of, I take full responsibility for anything that goes wrong.
So Marvin, what about you? Do you have how are you with do you have a good green thumb?
Well, my wife is more the green thumb. I'm the laborer. I have to get the root slayer out once in a while, and if anybody doesn't have a root slayer who's a gardener, look it up. It's the finest tool in the world. It's a spade with these teeth on the side that you can chop into a ugly mass of Siberian iris and show it who's boss. But yes, our gardens were on the tour last year, and we had a very good time with the gardeners or the tourists that come out are. They're very passionate about their gardens and things, and so they're fun people. So this is a fun event, and we look forward to it. So, and this year the gardens are like bursting because of all the moisture that we've had.
Right.
So hopefully they don't all just lay over and die after this spell of weather. But
right.
Yeah.
So are you more perennials or are you more annuals?
Mostly perennials. Yeah. Perennials, fruit and vegetables, and plus a whole lot of perennials. Yeah. So it's fun. Some people have wonderful gardens but don't want to show them off or don't want to have people. You always wonder when you drive around and see these long driveways. What's up there?
Right.
But, we don't go searching people's long driveways for great gardens, but if anybody is interested in showing their garden off for another year, they can contact any of us at the chamber, and we'll talk about it because we're always looking for new gardens.
Excellent. All right, we're talking to Marvin Harrison, who is a member of one of the board members over the COHASE Chamber of Commerce, and talking about the COHASE Chamber Garden Tours. That is going to be Sunday, July 19th, and it is $20 per person. Kids under 12 free. Any final comments, Marvin?
No, but we just love to see people come out, and because, as I say, it's really a feel-good event. I mean, the gardeners, the people who come out and go on the garden tour they're ready to go, and they're smiling and happy, and even if there are raindrops out there. So this is a rain or shine event, and and there's enough time between 11 and 3 to even work around weather if that's a factor. But come on out and meet us down at the Wells River Savings Bank in Bradford and get your maps and handouts and move along. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Marvin.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
And good morning. We're 25 minutes after 6. Another look at the weather coming up in just a few minutes here. Appleton. 28 minutes after 6 Friday morning, the 10th day of July. Stephen, John, and friends, we take you up to 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of great information. We hope you could be with us for the duration. We're taking a look at the weather. It's brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, which is part of the Auto Saver Group, where every deal comes with a Big Deal Plus, a 2-year unlimited schedule maintenance plan, which includes free state inspections for life.
So where's the big Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCuyer from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Make This the Summer event is going on right now, and anyone can lease a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab full-wheel drive for just $549 a month with zero due at signing. But wait, if you have a current Stellantis lease, just $499 a month gets you behind the wheel of one of America's most awarded full-size trucks. The 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn delivers legendary capability, a comfortable premium interior, advanced technology, and the strength to handle work, weekends, and everything in between. At St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're making it easier than ever to upgrade your vehicle. Plus, you can get an instant trade value, browse our inventory, or even build your deal online at stjohnsburycdjr.com. Visit us today at 220 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, just past the railroad tracks, or shop us online anytime, stjohnsburycdjr.com.
Stock number SJR 26119. 10,000 miles per year, 32,500 total miles. 30 cents per mile over. Tax, title, registration extra. This Ram is available to everyone at $549 per month, but current Stellantis leases pay only $499. Offer expires 8/3/26.
St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum, the forecast for today: partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, with the highest chances in the morning. Highs will be from the 70s to low 80s. Then tonight, mostly clear with a chance of valley fog. Lows will be in the 50s to nearing 60. And on Saturday, skies becoming partly to mostly sunny. Highs will be from the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm meteorologist Megan Duncan for WYKR.
Yeah, seeing some sunshine after picking up some downpours last night. Boy, the rain came down. And coming up in an hour or so, we'll find out how much when we chat with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum and Planetarium. Meanwhile, in the mid-60s, heading for the low 80s, that's the weather heading into the weekends. Brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Autosaver Group. They're online at stjohnsburycdjr.com at 200 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury.
You ever think about what makes a good neighbor? Good neighbors listen. They respect your time and they follow through. When you're making big decisions about your home, your business, your future, you don't need a bank that jumps straight to answers. You need one that starts with you. Here's Lorenzo Wilhite, President and CEO of Wells River Savings Bank.
We really just try to slow things down and listen. Every situation's different, and that matters.
Here, that's where everything begins.
Wells River Savings Bank is right here in the community, so we get to know people, not just their accounts, their story.
Whether you stop into a branch or bank online, you'll find real people focused on getting it right.
When you take the time to understand someone, things just work out better for them and for the whole community.
That's what good neighbors do. Wells River Savings Bank, your good neighbor bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, online at wellsriversavings.com.
Glad to have Bob and Gabe from Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises, with us. As we do every couple of weeks, we find out what's happening in their neck of the woods. Good to see you, Bob, again.
How you doing?
We're all set to talk about the North Haverhill Fair. I believe it's the 82nd.
Yeah, and I think that's all we've been concentrating on right now is trying to get everything ready for our booth in the fair.
All right, so are you in good shape at this point? What are you doing? Give us a little bit more.
Honestly, we're in better shape than we usually are.
Okay.
Even though the fair's a week earlier, we started a little bit earlier. We're in better shape. We're finalizing a couple of things. We made another flag. We sell our metal flags at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
We made a 250th flag.
Okay, good.
And we didn't even realize this, but we sold all our flags out last year. So when we went and grabbed our flag carrier, there was no flags in it. So we kind of right through and made a bunch of flags up again. So we have, regular American flag, Betsy Ross flag, and then a 250 flag, both in nice red and blue finish and distressed finish.
Yeah. And if somebody comes along and they want a particular flag and they have an idea about how they want it done, you can do that for them. So they can special order something.
Yeah, we could do that too. I've actually been working on a Second Amendment flag. I just time-wise, I haven't been able to get it exactly the way I want it to look yet. So I don't think we'll have that at the fair with us, but you never know.
Okay. Maybe a few other things that we can let our listeners know that you might be there.
We've got a couple of new bar tables coming to the fair. One of them's one that we use in the shop, and then another one that we're working on that'll be at the fair with us. Some bar stools to go with the bar tables. We've got, this is really cool, but we picked up an old cast pedal tractor, an old cast regular old school one.
Right.
So we restored that and made
what color? What color is it going to be?
It's green.
Like a John Deere color type thing.
Yeah. But we added a little bit of a 250 flare to it as well.
Nice. Okay.
So that'll be there with us, and I'm crossing my fingers. Hopefully, we're going to have my Harley reverse trike there with us, at least as a rolling chassis.
Nice. Okay. Because how many booths do you do?
We cover 4 spaces.
You've got a lot of stuff that you haul in there. Who's going to be manning the booth this year?
It'll be mainly me and Gabe manning it. Jasper will be coming sometime, but he doesn't like to be there a whole lot, so he'd rather be back working, and we obviously have to keep work going. So,
all right. So as we speak, North Haverhill Fair is going to be happening in a couple of weeks. So during the fair, we'll get a live update or some kind of an update during the fair from you and Gabe.
Definitely.
All right.
Our next one will be during fair time. So
because the fair is the 22nd through the 26th. The North Haverhill Fair. All right, so let's talk about fall hunting season and the stuff that people can maybe do that are stocks between now and then, because they're running out of time.
Yeah, if you want to dip a stock or even just paint a stock and get it looking a little different, camo or whatever you're looking for, we're kind of running out of time because there is an odor that you want to off-gas for a little while before hunting season. There's ways to speed it up, obviously, but there's definitely a factor there. So we pretty much will stop doing stocks by like second or third week in August, and that's it. If it's a hunting gun, we won't do it.
Right, about a month away.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk. We're heading into the fourth quarter in a hurry. They're going to see you at the North Haverhill Fair, see Gabe at the fair. They can put some orders in maybe for, holidays.
Yeah, we'll have some more metal artwork there, so you could either buy it there at the fair.
Yeah.
We usually have a pretty good selection of stuff there. We'll have a bunch of bee wind spinners and a bunch of different types of wind spinners, some Celtic designs and a bunch of them. So you can purchase that right at the fair, or just let us know what you're looking for and we can make it up for you.
Yeah. So with Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises, are there certain surprises when people find out there's certain things you can do, like top shelf, all of a sudden it comes to mind that people don't realize you're good at this?
There is, it's usually more related around like an old obsolete piece of equipment.
Okay.
And people are like, yeah, I got this kind of junk. I can't get parts for it anymore. And I'm like, well, that's fine. We can get it running for you. We can make what we need.
Right.
So we make a fair amount of parts for stuff like that.
Yeah, so you can fabricate, but even you get something that's got issues, you might take a look at it and help them get it running again, depending on what it might need a part that you can manufacture that you just can't get somewhere.
Yeah, we've actually got an old, I think it's a 70 Kid. Is it eight-wheel drive?
Yes.
8-wheel drive kind of skid steer type thing that the U.S. government built for the Vietnamese rice farmers, and they gave them to them, but it was too mechanical for rice farmers. They just didn't understand it, so most of them ended up coming back. And we had one that wasn't running and wasn't turning, and we've got it. I won't say it's great yet. No, it's for a customer.
Okay.
I won't say it's perfect yet. We did find a bunch of obsolete parts. We're just juggling with how much money to spend on it, but we've got it running and we got it driving. And
okay. Bob and Gabe with us, Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises. They'll be at the North Haverhill Fair in a couple of weeks, but we're going to get a update during the fair from you guys.
You will.
All right. And between now and then, though, if they want to contact you, how would the best way be?
Best way is just message me on Facebook.
Do that.
I've had a couple people call, leave messages, and for some reason, we're at that time of year again where we're getting 4,000 spam calls a day too. So it takes me a while to go through all the messages and get back to people.
Okay.
So definitely, if you message me through Facebook first, and then I can give you my cell phone and we can contact that way.
And that's Wild Vermont Customs on Facebook.
It is.
Okay, good. See you in a couple of weeks then.
We'll see you.
Bob and Gabe, thanks. Located on scenic 266 Route 10 in Piermont, Tommy's Auto is taking care of all vehicle maintenance needs. Now's the time to make your appointment soon by calling Tommy's Auto at 802-535-2804. When you're in need of tires for your ride, Tommy's Auto has some of the best prices around. After spending many years at Moonlight Auto Repair, Tommy decided to open his own business at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Now is the time to contact Tommy's Auto.
Chief Crushing and Excavation has plenty of products that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fills, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has Vermont and New Hampshire locations near you, including Wells River Quarry, the South Rygate Pit, Nick's Aggregate and Pike, and Blaisdell Sand and Gravel in North Haverhill. Excavation and full land clearing services are also available. For quarry operation hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum, the forecast for today: partly sunny with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, with the highest chances in the morning. Highs will be from the 70s to low 80s. Then tonight, mostly clear with a chance of valley fog. Lows will be in the 50s to nearing 60. And on Saturday, skies becoming partly to mostly sunny. Highs will be from the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm meteorologist Megan Duncan for WYKR.
All right, experiencing some real downpours last night, a little rain this morning. The skies are clearing. We've seen some sunshine. We're in the mid-60s, heading for the low 80s. Updated weather this time brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation. Be sure to call Chief at 802-584-3868. Be sure to line up the projects for this year and beyond by calling Chief. 6:40, we'll take a break here. Then when we get back, we have the Bay Ridge Speedway Race Report. Wells River Chevrolet is proud to be part of the Autosaver Group, and that's a really good deal. Being in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus comes with no charge with a purchase or lease of every vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. What does that mean for you? 2 years of unlimited scheduled maintenance, unlimited oil filter changes and tire rotations, lifetime state inspections, and so much more. Wells River Chevrolet is proud to be part of the Autosaver Group. Same great people, same great experience, and a Big Deal Plus. WellsRiverChevy.com. Together, let's drive. And, of course, they bring you the weekly Bay Ridge Speedway Race Report during the racing season, which is darn close to half a year, isn't it?
Getting close to it all the time.
Man, amundo.
Wow.
All right. Let's talk about last night before we talk about last weekend's racing. What was last night?
Pond Hill Ranch Rodeo.
Third annual.
And it was a success, even though it rained a little?
I'd say it rained a lot.
Oh, Chalkboard.
But no, the fans, I think, and they know it's a rain or shine event. They're not canceling. So there's no canceling unless it's thunder and lightning.
You have the more comfortable chair right now than I do, by the way.
Okay, but I was so tall.
This thing doesn't have wheels. You realize how much we move around in here? It doesn't have wheels.
I know, but I
Where'd
was
your
way
wheels
up
go?
here.
It's another story.
Okay.
They don't
talk
trust
about
you with
that.
wheels. You haven't graduated.
Gotta have wheels, man.
Oh, God. So
Anyway, it went
good
well.
Turnout.
Good.
Really good turnout.
Well, thanks to the people that hung around during the rain.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
some good fans, but it was really, 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 really warm, and so having the rain probably felt good for some of them.
It probably made the rodeo more exciting. They kind of had...
Well, they spoke about it early, because you had to put sand down on the main straightaway, and somebody said, it's a little dusty here.
Yeah.
Can we sprinkle a little water onto it? Oh, no, we don't want any water. No, we don't want any water. Well, they got their water.
Yeah, they did.
But anyway, the boys all had a good time. I talked to some of the riders on the way out, whatever. They thought they had a great time, whatever, and they said they just can't wait to come back again.
There you go.
Yeah,
so you think
they were
you
excited.
do it again next year?
We'll see what
Let's see what happens.
See what the results are when we get done with processing everything. But I know that they're Pond Hill Ranch and Wells River Chevrolet were, I think, very happy with the show last night, and Harry said that he likes it here and he wants to come back. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harry's the guy that owns Pond Hill Ranch. So
out of Rutland area?
Yeah.
Castleton, Vermont.
Yeah, they do a rodeo every Saturday night in the summertime at their farm up on top of a mountain.
There is a mountain down there, and it is uphill to the place, but
Great.
you ever get down there on Saturday nights, and of course they do their rodeos on Saturday nights from the 4th of July right through to
Beginning of September, I think.
yeah, second or third week in September. So
But yeah, great family. It's a family business. You know, it's all the whole family: the sisters, the brothers, the fathers, and uncles. They're all really nice, and they do a great job.
So do they farm? Do they do other than rodeo?
I think they might rent out
They
horses
farm.
and stuff, or
they probably got over 500 horses.
Really?
yeah,
Yes.
most of like the
Bulls,
yeah.
steers, calves, everything. They got well over 1,000 head.
Oh, okay, that's the real
year
deal.
round.
Yeah, yeah, and like a
Of
lot
everything.
Year round. Yeah.
a lot of places that if you go around in Vermont, New Hampshire that have horse riding, they come from Castleton.
They get a lot of the horses
They
from
get the
down
horses from there. So
They
that's neat.
They were talking in the wintertime. This is wintertime now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2 tractor trailer loads of round bales a day they have to haul in there to be able to feed all their animals and stuff. Yeah. They hay all summer long, you know, putting up round bales, different places, whatever. Then, of course, you know, they don't have storage space enough to put it all up there. So they take their rigs and they go pick them up, you know, every day. 2 tractor trailers out there picking up round bales to feed them.
You got to load them, got to unload them.
Unload them. They got to unwrap them and take
I'm
care
glad
of
I
them.
asked. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Pond Hill?
Pond Hill
and they
Ranch.
have like there was a guy the bull riding last night. Only one made it out of the 10 for the time. They have to go 8 seconds, but it's for national qualification. So
Okay.
these guys will go.
That was for
nationally.
national points last night. That was a national point event.
Yeah. So it's not.
So it's, you know, it's a
They-
pretty good deal.
One of the guys that you saw last night at Bear Ridge could be in Vegas doing the PBR Pro Bowl Riding Association next. You don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Neat.
It's the
Okay.
real deal,
Yeah.
and they do an excellent job.
Our listeners and people should know about that then. That's good.
So-
All right.
No.
So
We thank everybody who came
Yes,
and stuck
indeed.
it out and
Okay.
laughed in line as we were getting you in, but we did it. So
very nice.
Yeah.
All right. So good for you guys. 3rd annual?
That was our 3rd annual.
Okay. We need to find out what happened last weekend. The weather was pretty good for Bear Ridge Speedway.
It was a great night of
Yeah.
racing. I think you got it all.
You got it all?
You got it all.
Oh, yeah.
You're
So
up,
here we go.
man.
Here we go. Dirt Car Sportsman Modified, Sable and Sons. 3 33 lappers for them. So that was an extensive night. A great night for them.
Good to hear.
In the first race, top 10, Jason Gray, Richie Simmons, Jeremy Huntoon, Max Dolliver, Jason Horniak, Mike Ryan, Brian Chafee, Owen Brown, Todd Buckwald, Kyle Hennington, top 10. Madness feature number 2, Robert Tucker, Kyle Huntington, Todd Buckwald, Jason Horniak, Owen Brown, Mike Ryan, Jason Gray, Jeremy Huntoon, Max Dolliver, Richie Simmons. In Madness number 3, Max Dolliver. 3 different feature winners in 3 races. Richie Simmons, Jeremy Huntoon, Jason Gray, Mike Ryan, Jason Horniak, Robert Tucker, Kyle Huntington, Todd Buckwald, and Owen Brown. The neat part about this 3-race segment, no cautions in any one of them.
Okay.
They went 33 laps in each one, green to checkers.
That division was
The modifieds.
It was their madness. They were with lap and purse money. It was almost $12,000 they were going for.
So Madness overall, top 5. Jason Gray picked up the win overall by a couple of points.
Yeah, I think 2.
Max Dolliver, but then here we go. I think 2nd, 3rd, and 4th was how you finished the 3rd segment is how, because they all came in with the same 3-way tie for 2nd. Max Dolliver 2nd, Richie Simmons 3rd, Jeremy Huntoon 4th, and Jason Horniak round out the top 5 in overall Madness. So it was a great night for those guys. They had a lot of fun, but as they said, sometimes, during the middle of that race, we could have used a caution, for something to catch our breath a little bit, but they did a great job. In the Wells River Chevrolet Dirt Car Sportsman Coupes, Adamar is good. No, he's not a rookie. He raced for a long time ago for years, but he did run a coupe also. Adam Osgood picked up the win over Michael Danforth. Logan Martin, Terry Williams, Cooper Hodge, your top 5 with Bob Shepard, Chris Roberts, Alexis Pushy, Travis King, Lucas Wheeler rounded out your top 10 there. And the Dad's 4x Sportsman Limiteds. Brian King picked up the win over Sean King, Keegan Tabor, Lucas Balch, Jordan Robinson, Zach Audette. They were the top 6. In Extreme Dirt Car Midgets, John Falarno picked up the win over Nick Freddo, Will Hall, Daniel Piasca, Jeff Horn, Travis Hall, Adam Whitney, Brandon Piasca, and Chris Murray. High Country Dispensary Late Models, Ryan Christian over Timmy Higgins, Sean Lyman, Kevin Smith, Kelly Miller, your top 5. And there's a mistake, but that's all right. In La Valley Builder Supplies Dirt Stalkers, this guy's picked up more second place finishes in 1 year than I think anybody else. He picked up the win Saturday night. Timmy Tucker picked up the win over John Fields, Mike McClay, Tyler Fellows, Matt Pike, top 5 with Hunter Garduno, Timmy Blake, Keith Manser, James Thompson, and Andrew Fitzgerald rounded out the top 10.
Oh, yep.
In the Woodsville Power Equipment, Bobcat, Ridge Runners, Zach Audette picked up the win over Doug Boucher, Ryan Sayers, Katie Burrows, Kevin LaForest, Riley Chafee, top 6, Kyle Morris, Jacob Hall Larson, Landon McDonald, and Annie Tatro, your top 10. And that about takes care of what we did last Saturday night.
Yeah, by the way, your cars you had in the 4th of July parade looked very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, just to let you know.
Yeah.
It looked really. What did you have? 3?
We had the
3 or 4?
Jeremy's modified, the pace car, and then the Gremlin on the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no racing this weekend. This is like the first time you've ever done this. Take a summer break.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we've never had a summer break before.
So, and you know, it's a lot, especially with the rain last night. It would have been a lot to get that track ready for tomorrow, and it's hard enough to get our people to work one day, getting them to work 2 days in a week. So it made sense.
I mean, it sounds like a great idea. You're kind of having to do it because of the rodeo last night, but it kind of gets everybody a reset, even the spectators.
Yeah, and you know, I think some of the levels of not tempers or whatever with the competitors was elevating. So hopefully a week off will get us back down to a level playing ground to get through the rest of the year.
So how do the points stand? Is it really close?
I should have brought that, but there are a couple of divisions that are very tight.
Right.
Yeah.
So mid-season track championships are when? Do you still do that?
Well, this year it kind of fell off because of the break, and I didn't get it rescheduled. So.
Okay.
But yeah, the next event is Jim Fields Memorial. And so the guys should be thankful there's no midseason championship because they're losing a double points night because they all hate their double points night. So, and I love them because they don't like them.
Jim Fields Memorial 46 Memorial Night with the sprint cars in New England will be back for that show.
Okay.
And I think if we did it last year, if I remember right, didn't we do twin 23s for the dirt stalkers?
You did something different, yes.
I think we time trialed, ran one, reversed the field, came up with an overall winner.
So the next racing is Saturday the 18th. Can you believe that?
Saturday the 18th.
We're just talking about the 4th of July. We'll be talking about
the month is almost, I know.
Then you head into the North Haverhill Fair, and it's the end of the month. And
it's right there.
Roll into August.
July's a short weekend month.
Yep.
Really? Well, that's great. You had the success last night, even though it rained a little bit. Take this weekend off, kind of a reset, and then you're back at it. Fairway Speedway Saturday the 18th at 6-ish?
6-ish, but we'll be at
and if you want to see a
Northeastern tomorrow.
Little nostalgia up to Northeast Speedway, the old Northeast Speedway up to Waterford, Vermont. I don't know how many cars will be up there, but there'll be some over 30 cars probably.
Mm-hmm.
Old race cars, whatever. They're going to unveil a new old race car up there for Saturday. So that'll
How
be,
old?
Well, it's a 33 Plymouth Coupe. I can say that much about it. And it does have a flathead motor still in it,
Mhm.
or it does have a flathead motor in it.
And the
They're
nice-
going to unveil that one.
So
And
are
that
there-
hasn't been seen by
Anybody?
probably
Half a dozen people?
Yeah, baby.
Are there still a fair amount of old race cars and mothballs we don't know about? You may know about.
Yeah, there's not many.
Really?
Yeah. There's a few, but not too many. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this event is we always have to leave early, so because we have to get back to the
True.
racetrack, so
Yeah.
it'll be nice for
The hardest
Butch to
part-
be able to stay for the whole thing.
The
It'll be
hardest
nice.
part about this whole deal is you can't find those old cars.
Mm.
So we try to remake them. I mean, this one that they're going to unveil tomorrow is a remake. There's no question about it. You know, that old car raced back in the maybe 69, 70, 71 era. It'll be pretty neat to see
At what
it.
track?
Bay Ridge.
At Bay Ridge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a Waterford
We're
car.
not telling
It's
anymore.
a Bay Ridge.
Stop digging.
I'm trying,
Stop
man.
digging.
It's a Bay Ridge car. But anyway, it's going to be neat, whatever.
You'll know next week.
All right.
And it'll be fun, you know.
And the weather's looking decent for
The
it.
weather should be good. And not only race cars, but there'll be some old cars there, you know.
If I leave now, I
know
could
some
take my
people-
59.
I know some people that are bringing their old cars and they'll park
Good.
them in the infield where the race cars they'll park on the front straightaway. But it's okay. It's a nice little deal.
What's the time?
So
Roughly-
that is
roughly
10
midday.
to 2.
10 to 2.
10 to 2, I'd
Right,
say.
and that's in Waterford at the old
That's
racetrack.
at Waterford, the old racetrack. Right,
Right.
on Route 18 in Waterford, Vermont.
Yeah, it's right off the interstate. Easy
Yep.
to find. Good. All right. Well, good luck having the weekend off. Get back making some
Obviously,
trophies.
we're not going to be just, I know, we're not going to be laying around.
All right. Brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, part of the Autosaver Group, the Bay Ridge Speedway Race Report. Enjoy the weekend.
One more time.
Kind of.
Thank you.
All right. In Bradford, Farmway invites you to shop their in-stock Lazy Boy furniture. Farmway has plenty of styles and colors to choose from, something to fit everybody, including pet-friendly fabrics. Check the prices, you won't be disappointed. Shop in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere, and if you don't see it, Farmway can order it. Delivery and removal is available. Just ask about the rates. At Farmway, they take immense pride in offering a wide selection of top-quality brands in footwear, clothing, camping, and hunting gear, furniture, and gifts. Shop locally in Bradford at Farmway.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. We'll be chatting with him in about a half hour, right after birthdays and anniversaries. We'll find out what's happening with the weather. It's been dry, and then, boy, a lot of rain last night, and a decent-looking weekend, so to speak. So thanks. There's Mark Breen. We'll be chatting with him, like we said, in about a half hour or so. The updated weather this time around here at your country, WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, W286DE Wells River at 105.1, brought to you by your friends at Farmway. It's that time of the year. You can get out on the water. They can help you out. And hunting season is not that far away. They can get you prepared. All you have to do is stop by and get all the proper clothing and everything else you need when you stop by Farmway. And they are open a little bit later on tonight for your shopping convenience. It is 7 o'clock. We're all set to check out the latest news. And there you have the latest news and information at 2 minutes after 7. Let's head to Four Corners Farm in South Newbury. Say good morning to Charlie Gray.
Good morning. How's it going?
We're doing all right. Charlie, all right. How'd that rain treat you guys down there last night?
That was good. I was in a rush the last 2 days, knowing it was coming, and we had to get I got the second to last planting of sweet corn in, so that was crucial for the rain, and a couple cover crops, and we fertilized a few of the strawberries that were growing for next year. So it was kind of it was a little, I didn't know we were. I thought it would have started earlier yesterday, so by 7 o'clock it still hadn't rained, and I was like, I hope it rains, and then sure enough, by 8:30 it came down pretty good. I think we got a little over an inch here at the farm.
Did you really? Yeah, when it came down, boy, you sure did. We'll be chatting with Mark Breen in less than a half hour. We'll see what he has in store for us. So when you get rain like that, what does it do to your entire Four Corners Farm crops?
So everything that's outside of the tunnels, it was really beneficial for, because we're not in a drought anymore, which is really nice. But I think you still kind of get flashbacks when you start going we got a little bit of rain on Tuesday, but it wasn't really enough to amount to anything. So all of a sudden, over a week without rain, you start getting little flashbacks of, are we starting heading into another drought? But no, this inch last week, with everything being able to take it up, because the ground was a little dry. I mean, it was wet underneath, but the surface was still a little dry. So we got a little bit of ponding down on the meadow, but lucky we got that hay off last week, so we didn't have to, we don't have to worry about it. We got one little, one little patch of first crop hay left to do, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get into this section, so I'll have to wait for another dry period, and we'll do that. So it's all exciting. It's that's kind of the game you play with farming is, the silver lining, we needed the rain, so for the corn and the winter squash and all the other crops that are out there that aren't protected by greenhouses. So it was really beneficial for that, and it also seems like the dew point's going to drop tonight, so we'll have a nice dry night and this cool night the next couple nights to kind of dry everything out.
All right.
So that's also really beneficial.
Yeah, so with your spring planting, now it's coming to harvest. What have you got?
Yeah, so it's this I think July and the first part of August are kind of my favorite months, because everything that we've been working for over the last 8 weeks since we since we started putting things in the ground, it's the green beans are coming in. We put those in the hay groves, one of the tunnels earlier, so we could get those in, and we have we're also digging potatoes now, and we have sweet corns a couple weeks away, and we got blueberries are in, raspberries are in. We now have the first batch of our brassicas, so we have broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage are still a little bit out, but we got broccoli available and green beans and obviously all the tomatoes, and we also have cut flowers coming in. We have sunflowers right now with bouquets coming soon.
Yeah, we've never talked much about that, about your sunflowers and your flower bouquets. Maybe you want to tell our listeners a little bit more about that and the benefits for you guys and also for our listeners?
Yeah, so, there used to be a lot of places in the valley to get bouquets for your significant other, but excuse me, but that changed. So now we're, to be able to get a bouquet of flowers, and especially locally grown flowers that come right out of our greenhouse is kind of a treat. So we have sunflowers now with bouquets coming in over the next week or so.
Awesome. All right. Charlie Gray's with us, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury, weekly update during the growing season. So the strawberries, you're no longer doing pick your own.
Yeah, so I've been trying to think about this all week, Stephen. So we've kind of adapted now that, for a long period of time, strawberries were only in June, and you had to come out in June and get them, and once that date passed, you had to wait a whole another year. But with visiting other farms all over the United States and applying agricultural practices that we've learned along the years, that we now have, it's just a whole bunch of different seasons of strawberries inside of our one, growing season. So it's the June crop, which started way back in June 9th, is now that crop has now gone by, and yesterday was our last day of pick your own. We're not going to say for the season because we have other strawberry fields that are in ripening stage right now. So if it's more than we could pick, we might open for like a pop-up pick your own here in a couple weeks. But we do want to appreciate everybody who came out over the last 30 days. And, I think it was 3 weeks ago, that third week of June, we had a really good, we were selling strawberries from the co-ops to the farmers markets to here at the farm stand, to both people coming for pick your own to come and have strawberries, along with also we had Willing Hands and Salvation Farm, which are the gleaning companies or gleaning organizations in the valley in the Northeast Kingdom. They brought over 30 flats to food banks, so it was really good this year to have almost everybody in the surrounding area was able to eat a strawberry or two.
Yeah, it's strawberry is really a top shelf. People talk about the strawberry season quite often, especially this time of the year. So a successful strawberry season, and I assume from now until when you'll have strawberries available at your stand.
Yes. So right now we're going to just start picking our it's a July fruiting strawberry. So you can't think of it as a June crop. So this is a July variety called Malwina, and people might get a little surprised. So when it ripens a really dark red. So where the June crop, a dark red means overripe, and a July crop, the dark red means it's ripe. And they have just a really, really good flavor. They're hard to grow, but they'll be They're really good. So those will be in the farm stand for at least the next couple weeks until our fall crop, which is our Albion, which is our slower crop to grow. But once it kicks in, it does produce a lot. But we're dealing with a lot of pests in it right now. Just this week we had a bear come in and paw around in the corn and knock down 2 beehives. We've had a deer coming in every night at sometime after midnight and munching on the fresh leaves. So hopefully, if we can get the pests under control, then we'll have strawberries right through the fall.
All right. I'm running out of your honey. When will you be pulling some honey? Because I need to restock.
Yes, I know. We don't know. As I said, a bear came in 2 nights ago and took a whole chunk out of the hive. Dad was able to save it. We found the queen, so I got to plant some more flowers around here, and hopefully by October we'll have honey.
Yeah, all right, well, good for that. And of course, we're heading into the mid part of summer. A lot of fruits and vegetables are coming into the stand, so I assume the stand is really looking good right now.
Yes, I bet you either by next Friday or the Friday after, the sign will be full down at the end of the road.
Excellent. All right, Charlie, final comments?
Oh, we forgot to talk about pick your own blueberries. So we're waiting a little bit for them to ripen, and we'll have pick your own blueberries, and it's pretty easy. You just come to the farm stand, and the patch is out behind the barn next to the new shop. So excellent. That we pick your own blueberries. Probably not this weekend. Maybe starting midweek next week. All depends on the weather. But there'll be blueberries available. That's the next crop, and as I said, this is the time of year where you can get all 3 berries. So We'll have strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries available in the farm stand.
And the farm stand's open
every day, 9 to 6.
Excellent. Charlie, enjoy the weekend.
All right, see you next week.
Thank you. Charlie Gray, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury. Stop in, check them out. Support local. Know where your food comes from. Charlie Gray, Four Corners Farm, with the update. Thank you very much. 10 minutes after 7, I'm Stephen John. And up next, a conversation I had recently with Neil Robie, the owner of Pete's Rubbish Removal. Some trash talks coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to update you on the weather forecast heading into the weekends. Brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and Littleton, home of the big deal. At Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, located on Route 302 in Littleton, the veteran sales professionals are passionate about helping customers find the right vehicle that fits their needs. Due to their knowledgeable and experienced sales representatives who are always happy to help, they've been nominated several times for Chrysler Dealer of the Year, earned multiple FCA Pantaster Club Awards, and are the recipient of the Customer First Award for Excellence, years 2018 through 2023. At Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, they continue to hold themselves to the highest standards of training and maintain manufacturer certification in order to serve their customers the best quality of customer service. Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, located on Route 302 in Littleton.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Hey, thank you very much. 12 minutes after 7, updated look at the latest in the world of sports. Tom Cuddy and the Red Sox and everything else coming your way. But the weather this time around brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Littleton, home of the big deal. Be sure to stop in, check it out, see what they have to offer you.
Another bad day for Red Sox critics. Red Sox 2, White Sox 1. Your Sox sweep the other Sox 3-game series. Chad Tracy's bullpen dominated the series.
They've been amazing all season. Our pitching in general has been amazing all season, but that's a high leverage game from the 5th inning on, and you're asking a lot of people to come in and lock down in a 1-run game, and you really can't have many mistakes. They locked down for quite a bit of game there. The bullpen, they were amazing.
Chad Tracy, the bullpen, superb. Key to the win, 4th inning, 2-run home run from Caleb Durbin.
just keep him in the zone. His stuff plays really good when it's out of the zone. A lot of people's do. So just try to keep him in the zone, especially with, in 3-2 count there. I think you just settle in, right? You settle in as the season goes on. New place for me. It's worked on some things with my swing. There's a lot that goes into it. I just feel like I'm just playing baseball now, though.
Caleb Durbin, Red Sox 2, White Sox 1.
And some sunshine, and it's 67, heading for the low 80s here in the YKR listening area today.
Thanks, Verschier and Bath, for choosing your country, 101.3.
It's time for Trash Talk, which is brought to you by Pete's Rubbish Removal, owned by Neil Robie, who's with us in our studios today. How you doing?
Wonderful. Good morning.
All right. So, hey, we're in the summertime. We had some hot weather the last couple of weeks, cooled off a little bit, but there's more to come because there's a lot of summer still ahead of us. What's that mean for you guys, your trucks, and your drivers? Is that summertime tougher than wintertime? What's the deal?
In both. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it is because it's our busiest time of year, Steve.
It is.
So that's the main thing is, we're probably 30 to 50% busier on any given day in July than we are in January, February, or March.
Okay. Hot weather tough on the trucks?
It is tough on the trucks, but also, it's tough on the boys, I mean, like those guys, you and I have talked about kind of doing something a little bit like the day in the life of these guys.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me monologue for a couple
That's what we want to hear.
A couple minutes.
That's why
Steve,
we're here. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think a lot of times we don't take a minute to just think about, what the grind is like, on a lot of people's jobs. And I have a ton of respect for the guys that I work with, what they do. And a lot of this, Stephen, we kind of was passed on from Pete and Arlene. I know in today's high-tech world, right, everybody's got their tablets and apps for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my guys, they start the day with an old-fashioned clipboard and go through their truck, every single part. They're checking everything, make sure that belts are tight and make sure there's no hydraulic leaks. And believe it or not, we switched from that to a 3-ring binder. Those still exist.
Yeah.
And every customer of ours has an individual page. So,
Really?
Yep. So that page is for notes for that, how many bags, how many yards, or anything that customer
Interesting.
has. So,
Okay.
So, for example, one of my newer guys, Espen, super good kid. He'll be there at 5 a.m. every morning, and he pulls out, gets his truck pre-tripped, and then he goes through his book. They're picking up anywhere from 100 to 180 customers every single day. And you bring up the heat. I mean, our trucks, our fleet is mostly made up of 1990s vintage Macs. And while those are super reliable vehicles, they don't have air conditioning. So those guys are out there in the heat.
So you're talking up the truck and out of the truck that many times in the course of a day. And then they're in the back of the truck hitching up the, what is it?
Yep, they hook up the cables to be able to tip the dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to it.
So
then you're backing in and out of driveways, which we'll get to in a minute, talking about safety of the trucks on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
So it is. I mean, it's a workout, and I mean, you're climbing in and out of that truck. And that's why I take my hat off to those guys. I mean, it's hard work in the summer. I mean, you can imagine those guys come back just drenched in sweat a lot of days.
Yeah, and then in the wintertime, you're jumping over snowbanks. That's why we've talked, if you can keep that stuff shoveled out so these guys can back the truck in there and be on the way, it's going to be safer for everybody and a cleaner job all the way around.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Like in the winter, those challenges, right, are the snowbanks and the icy roads and all those things. In the summer, it's just holiday traffic, those things, and dealing with bears. You and I have talked a few times about some of the procedures we're using for bears, and we've had a ton of success electrifying our dumpsters. So if any of you customers are having issues with bears, whether you're one of our customers or just thinking about it, one of my customers told me the other day that they got the recommendations from the game warden. They're actually using some of our recommendations.
Awesome.
By actually just electrifying the dumpster itself.
Where did you learn that?
Admittedly, it wasn't my idea. It was actually Roger Martin's.
All
right. He was doing it a little bit different than we are, but that's kind of where we got the idea of we didn't like fences around them or anything like that, and it makes it hard to keep the things looking neat. And and I think that's the goal. Is I think if you're going to have a dumpster in your yard, it should look good.
Yeah, you want to keep, exactly. You want to keep yourself safe, the bear safe, or whatever the animal might be.
Yep.
But that's going to happen. How do you communicate with your drivers?
So hey, we hope right now on a Friday morning, right? You're all tuned into WYKR, and that's part of your routine. Well, our routine is on any given morning, like this morning. We all get there usually similar times. At least there's a few of us there going over stuff. We leave notes for every driver of anything that's out of their regular routine.
Yeah.
But besides that, we try to keep as much of that as like cookie cutter as we can. Like, so they know if you're like a Wednesday morning customer, then you better be a Wednesday morning customer every Wednesday, 365
There you
days
go.
a year,
So,
or 52 Wednesdays a year.
Yeah, beginning of the conversation talking about busy time of the year. For the availability of our listeners are thinking about dumpsters, want to be on Pete's regular route. What about getting a dumpster?
So
or a roll off.
Right. So yeah, if you're doing a clean out project or a renovation of your kitchen, bathroom, or just hoeing out the attic or the basement of the garage, the trick is to plan ahead. Of course,
Okay.
I do what I can to accommodate my customers, but I can do a better job for you if you can give me a heads up and give me 3, 4, 5 days before you need the dumpster, and then I have the time to make sure I have it lined up for you.
Contact you how?
So email is fine. So Pete's Rubbish Removal, all one word, at gmail.com.
Okay.
And the other one is, obviously, there's always one of us in the office, 603-989-5300. Those are your best two ways.
Check all that information out. I assume at your website, the information
Yep,
is there.
We have a Facebook page. You can use that too. So check our Facebook page for any like holiday schedule changes or anything like that.
And let's leave our listeners with just a safety tip.
Right. And I know we've talked about this before, but it never gets old, is just, keep an eye out when you see those big green trucks with the moose on the side, or even if it's somebody else in a big truck.
That's right.
Those guys, like those truck drivers, that's hard work, and their visibility is not the same as your visibility. Their braking time is not the same as your braking time. Yeah. So, right, give them some space.
Definitely.
Yep.
Neil Robie, the owner of Pete's Rubbish Removal. That is Trash Talk. We'll do this again another month. It'll be August, man.
Oh, it's flying by.
It is, isn't it? Good to see you.
All right, good to see you, brother.
All right, 7:20. Thanks, Neil. And talking about safety is Neil's speaking about the big green trucks at Pete's Rubbish Removal. The Proudy is this weekend. That means there's going to be a lot of bicyclists and pedestrians on Route 10 and Route 5 and maybe some of the other side roads between here and Hanover. And also with the Red Knights Motorcycle Vermont Chapter 5, they have the Jazzy's Ride, and that's to benefit Jazzy's Children Fund, and that will be starting at the Three Bears Country Barn and ending at the American Legion in Woodsville. So they get started about 10 o'clock with the kickstands up tomorrow morning, and the ride ends at about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. A lot of things happening. And then, as Butch was saying earlier, they've got the old antique car show with racing cars up at the old Waterford Raceway, just off the interstate up there. You might want to check that out. Right now, 21 after 7, Stephen, John, and friends, right up until 9 this morning. We take a look at the weather forecast. As part of Bobcat of Woodsville and Woodsville Power Equipment with their sales, service, parts, repairs, and rental equipment, and a whole lot more. They're at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Toro, walk-behind, self-propelled, push, gas, and electric lawnmowers. America's #1 mower brand is available locally at Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental. They can help transform your mowing experience with an easy-to-use, feature-packed Toro walk-behind lawnmower. Whether you're in the market for gas or battery-powered, push or self-propelled, find your perfect mow with Toro's complete lineup of walk-behind lawnmowers. To help determine the best lawnmower for your needs, stop into Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. More with him coming up in less than 10 minutes, shortly after 7:30, right here at your country, WYKR. Updated weather brought to you by Woodsville Power Equipment with sales, service, parts, repairs, rental equipment, expert advice, Bobcat of Woodsville, and Milwaukee Equipment, and a whole lot more. All you have to do is stop in, check it out at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Give them a call. at 747-2322. Coming up next, a few minutes away from checking out birthdays and anniversaries. Right now, with you anymore. It's 27 after 7. It's Friday morning. Steve and John and friends. Here's what you can enjoy today at Dunnells Family Diner, downtown Wells River. How about the Robie Farm? Mushroom Swiss burger with french fries or tater tots. Spaghetti with meat sauce and garlic bread. Sloppy Joe's with french fries, or the summer plate, which is baked beans, potato salad, and a hot dog. They also have available a barbecue pork Bogie with french fries and haddock sandwich with chips and pickle. Their soup today is fish chowder, and the seafood available includes haddock, scallops, and strip clams. Those are the specials. Remember, you can order from the regular menu, and you stop by Dunnells Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. Birthdays, anniversaries coming your way in just a couple of minutes at Your Country.
So where's the big deal? Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCuyer from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Make This the Summer event is going on right now, and anyone can lease a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab full-wheel drive for just $549 a month with zero due at signing. But wait, if you have a current Stellantis lease, just $499 a month gets you behind the wheel of one of America's most awarded full-size trucks. The 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn delivers legendary capability, a comfortable premium interior, advanced technology, and the strength to handle work, weekends, and everything in between. At St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're making it easier than ever to upgrade your vehicle. Plus, you can get an instant trade value, browse our inventory, or even build your deal online at stjohnsburycdjr.com. Visit us today at 220 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, just past the railroad tracks, or shop us online anytime, stjohnsburycdjr.com.
Stock number SJR 26119. 10,000 miles per year, 32,500 total miles. 30 cents per mile over. Tax, title, registration extra. This Ram is available to everyone at $549 per month, but current Stellantis leases pay only $499. Offer expires 8/3/26.
St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
Hey, good morning. We're approaching 7:30, getting set to check out the birthdays and anniversaries today. And a busy weekend on the roads, as it is summertime. The roads have become busier, so be sure to look out for the motorcycles and the pedestrians and the bicyclists that are going to be on the road in full force tomorrow, especially with a lot of activities that are happening. So drive carefully. By the way, our community events calendar is brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. It is 7:30. It's July 10th. It's a Friday. We're checking out the birthdays and anniversaries today. And those that are being celebrated include Pam Tatro with love from the whole family, Edwin Page, Tammy Hersey, Katie Rochefort, Jacob Page, Joby Bro celebrates today, and a very happy birthday to Serena Spear. Happy birthday, Mammy. We love you. And happy anniversary to Justin and Katie Fullerton. Reminding you to get your wishes into us. We like to see them in advance. That way it does give us time to prepare for the day of your wish. Birthdays and anniversaries that are brought to you every day of the year right around 7:30, and they're brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. You need an insurance quote or have questions, reach out to the Swenson Insurance Agency. Happy birthday today to Serena Spear. Very happy birthday, Mammy. We love you. Joby Bro celebrates today, so does Jacob Page, Katie Rochefort, Tammy Hersey, Edwin Page, and a very happy birthday to Pam Tatro with love from the whole family. And one happy anniversary that we have today goes to Justin and Katie Fullerton. And be sure and thank the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford for bringing you birthdays and anniversaries.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. All right, meanwhile, it is 7:32. Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, Profile Meats, North Haverhill, bringing you our weekly conversation with Mark Breen. Good morning. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, Stephen. And yourself?
I'm doing all right. Boy, did it rain. Tell us more about that one.
Yeah, that was quite the cluster of showers and thunderstorms that worked their way from New York State across northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire, and so many locations picking up between 1 and 2 inches of rain from that particular episode. And of course, it's coming on the sort of the tail end of what turned out to be a rather dry couple of weeks. You'd have to go back to around, I think it was June 26th that we had our last substantial rain across the region. So it's been a while. The ground's getting a little dry. My lawn kind of slowed down in terms of having to mow it. And, of course, the garden, the tomato plants looked just a little weepy a little bit in the afternoon. Of course, we had some hot weather as well. So all of that sort of combined. But, yes, in fact, I had reports anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of rain in places. 1.5 inches was the highest total that I saw locally. That was over near Lake Groton. We also had a report, if you go up to Montpelier or over to Montpelier, the Barrie-Montpelier Airport, 2.5 inches of rain. Wow. So they had some flooding, some in the poor drainage areas over in Barrie and Montpelier. So
it did come down, and as you said, things were getting kind of dry. So I assume most places did soak it up pretty good, though.
Yeah. So now, of course, so this is actually a good example of the fact that July is our sunniest and wettest month. It just sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it has to do with the fact that the nature of our weather this time of year, rather than in the winter when we have these long periods of, may be cloudy for 2 or 3 or 4 days in a row, along with some periods of rain or snow, but this time of year we have those very, sort of concentrated areas of heavy downpours from showers and thunderstorms. So it rains, and it rains hard, but it only rains for an hour or two, and then the rest of the time it's not raining, and so there's a lot more opportunity for some sunshine. So that's why July is the sunniest and wettest month of the year.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the the other part of July as we move forward. But let's back up the truck just a little bit and some tidbits of information that you might have in regards to the 4th of July.
Yeah, so, I guess I've always been fascinated with that period of time in terms of history, but one of the things that I've been doing most recently is tying together the weather and the weather events that took place during the Revolutionary War with the kind of the outcome of the war. I mean, the weather had a huge impact on that, and so I was specifically thinking about, here in Vermont and New Hampshire, were there things that went on? Because, well, for one thing, I'm not sure everybody's aware, but Vermont didn't exist in the Revolutionary War. I mean, it was here, but it wasn't called Vermont. And there was actually some back and forth between whether this piece of land that we now call Vermont belonged to New York or New Hampshire. So some people called it the New Hampshire grants, others it was the New York grants, but the bottom line was that even though we weren't a state specifically, there were a couple of events that took place here that were really, kind of critical to the war. One of the first ones took place at Fort Ticonderoga. And at that point, so it's before 1776, but the Americans had captured the fort, and of course there were a lot of artillery there, cannons and so forth, and they needed that to kind of support the work that they were doing, the war effort near Boston. So they actually, and this is kind of an amazing story, they brought these very heavy cannon, and of course they didn't have roads, not paved roads the way we do. The only feasible way to move those cannons was to wait until winter. So they actually waited till the winter of 1775, and they slid them from Ticonderoga up and over the Berkshires, and then finally over to Boston. So that was part of Vermont's involvement. The other, and I would say probably the more famous event, had to do with, of course, the Battle of Bennington, which didn't happen in Bennington.
Of course not.
Well,
there was no Bennington, right?
We call it the Battle of Bennington, but actually the battle itself took place in a place called Walloomsac, New York. So it's about 10 miles west of Bennington, but it's always been known as the Battle of Bennington. And one of the important things was that it was part of sort of this larger thing going on where the British forces started in Montreal. They were going south, and at the same time, we had some British forces that were supposed to be coming north from New York. They were trying to cut off New England. So what happened in Bennington was they heard that there was a bunch of guns and gunpowder and so forth there. So they tried to attack it. What they didn't know was that not only were there 1,500 colonial soldiers there, but there were additional forces coming in from New Hampshire, including General John Stark. And so he led the forces, and they actually defeated the British just outside of Bennington. And that actually messed up the whole plan that the British had in terms of dividing New England off from the rest of the colonies. It didn't work. And by 1777, General Burgoyne, who was the British general, it was all because of the weather. There was a huge rainstorm that slowed down reinforcements from the British. So with the American forces there, they were already in place. They were able to defeat the British because the British couldn't get there because of the weather. And so it was actually heavy rains in August of 1777 that allowed the American victory, which then, like I said, eventually turned into an important part of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. Weather just a key part of so many things, has been and will be. Do you have any
Exactly.
Do you know of any ancestors in your family that were part of the Revolutionary War?
No, because my ancestors are mostly Irish, and they didn't come over until the 1800s. So
okay, all right.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the weather pattern for the rest of July. Here we are, the 10th of July already, Mark.
Yeah, I know. It's basically, we're looking at this weekend. This is kind of the middle of July, and so we've been on the dry side and we've been on the warm side. So we've got some cooler, refreshing air coming in this weekend, and that's part of a trend that'll do two things. I think the temperatures here will be close to the average, maybe slightly warmer than average, but for the most part, close to average through the rest of this month. The heat will be concentrated to our west. You'll hear a lot of stories about some heat out in the Great Plains and out into the Rockies. And then the other thing that's been going on, of course, it's been dry. We had this burst of rain last night. But for the most part, it looks like dry weather is going to be the character for the rest of this month. So, for folks with gardens and so forth, you may have to just plan on a little extra watering. If you've got a well that you're concerned with, you want to pay attention to that as well, because there won't be a lot of replenishment, at least not this month. I have been peeking ahead. There is a suggestion that in August there will be a little bit more regular rainfall, but this time of year, because these storms, really, they're so localized and so brief, it's pretty hard to pinpoint them once you get out past about 3 or 4 weeks.
And that is why we do the weather up around here one day at a time.
That's right.
All right. And the planet Venus is all by its lonesome self now.
Yeah, there's just not a lot going on in the skies. There always is something going on, but Venus is very low, and it's going to stay very low through the rest of the summer. So if you do have a good view to the west, you will see it, but just plan on it being, kind of just barely sitting above the horizon and mostly early in the evening. Now, of course, later this month, so I mentioned the dry weather, maybe that'll mean more clear skies, and that would be great because meteor showers start increasing later this month. They eventually peak in August with the Perseid meteor shower, but, if we do get some clear nights, that's always I just love just kind of laying out there on a lounge chair or whatever and just looking up and watching a few meteors streak across the sky.
Yeah. More people, I guess, need to do that. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like it. Mark Breen, our meteorologist, Fairbanks Museum. Let's find out what the weekend weather forecast looks like then.
Yeah, so it's a little bit murky this morning, a lot of low clouds, some patches of fog earlier, and there could be an isolated shower, but we are going to see increasing sun this afternoon. You're going to start to feel the air change. Temperatures will still be fairly warm, 80 to 85, but when it clears out tonight, cooler, less humid, get those windows open. The house is going to cool off quite a bit. There'll be some areas of fog, and that'll drop temperatures into the 50s, but that fog burns off to some sunshine tomorrow. Boy, just a great, refreshing sort of July day. Temperatures only in the 70s to near 80. It's actually a little bit on the cool side for this time of year. Another clear, cool night Saturday night with some fog. The fog burns off to sunshine Sunday. A great finish to the weekend. Temperatures 80 to 85, low humidity, light winds. Really a nice, nice day.
Very nice. All right. Well, enjoy that weekend weather then. All right, Mark?
Well, thanks, and you too.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Okay.
Mark Breen, Fairbanks Museum and Planetarium, weekly conversation brought to you by Hatchland Farm. Wicked Good Dairy Delights Profile Meats, located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. You'll enjoy ice cream season even more when you spend some time in North Haverhill at Wicked Good Dairy Delights. Their ice cream window opens at 11 every day with a full menu of cones, dishes, fraps, soft and hard serve ice cream, sundaes, toppings, and their famous ice cream flights. Cash and gift cards only at the ice cream window. For your convenience, an ATM is available inside the store. Wicked Good Dairy Delights is located on Route 10 North Haverhill. For hours, daily specials, and announcements, visit the Hatchland Farm Facebook page. We'll take another look at the weather. Ted Cooper is standing by at Wells River Chevrolet with his bi-weekly update. We'll be checking in with him. But first, the weather forecast with Mark's being brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm. Highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. 67 degrees at 7:46. Updated weather brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ted Cooper, good morning, sir.
And good morning. We got a little rain last night.
Do you think?
Sounds like however the humidity's going down, and we've got a beautiful weekend ahead.
Yeah,
so
it's nice.
Nothing to complain about there.
No. So a couple of things. I know you're in the transportation industry, of course. They have got the ride for Jazzies with motorcycles tomorrow. Kickstands up at about 10, and then they end at the American Legion in Woodsville at about 3. So, a fair amount of motorcycles will be out there. And then the Proudy happens tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of bicyclists and pedestrians in both Vermont and New Hampshire from here south to the Hanover area. So be careful out there traveling this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, keep your eyes open and be prepared to let them go by.
All right.
They're these guys are all riding for wonderful. These guys and gals are all riding for wonderful causes. We support them both, and word to the wise. A lot of road sharing going on tomorrow.
Yeah, that's for sure. So you're in the transportation industry. You've flown airplanes. You've been out on the high seas, and now you finally get your feet on the ground. Tell us more about what's happening at Wells River Chevrolet, man.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of folks have been mentioning recently, but boy, your inventory looks awful thin, and your truck line is thin and so forth. But you may be noticing that things are beginning to improve. Basically, the problem is we've been selling more than we've been able to replenish. Well, guess what? Fortunately, the floodgates seem to be opening. We've been getting trucks and vehicles in this week. We've got now almost 50 new 1,500 and 2,500 trucks on order, which means that they've accepted the orders. They're easing up on the allocation, it would appear. And, just also some examples. We've got a whole bunch of Traverses now. We never had those. including two Z71s, which are the most popular. This is a nice three-row seat SUV, great family vehicle. I got 4 LTs. I've never had 6 Traverses in stock before. It's pretty cool. We got some Colorados. We got a bunch of Trailblazers. That's the most compact of the all-wheel drive, selectable all-wheel drive Chevy SUVs. And we got a truckload of new 2027 Chevy Equinoxes. You know, if you look across the street also, you'll see a couple of dump trucks. We got a bunch of stuff, so things are going. Plus, on the half-tons right now, half-ton Silverados, we got 0 for 60. Financing also applies to the Equinox and the Trax. Really good, good financing stuff and bunch of good stuff on the way. Now, in terms of what's on the ground, right now our featured special for July on half-ton crew cab Silverados, half-ton custom crew cab Silverado 4x4s, you can get $7,000 off, and that's total savings, and everybody can qualify for that. So that's big money. Hitting some of our pre-owned inventory, our featured ones this month are a 21 Equinox LT all-wheel drive. It's got about 63 on it, and it's only sale price $18,364. So a really nice car under $20,000. We've also got a 19 GMC Terrain SLT. That's a 4x4 also. You can get into that for about $250 a month. I've got a very nice 2025 Jeep Compass Limited. It's a 4x4, and it's only got about 24,000 miles on it. You'd be in the $350, $355 range per month on that. And here's a pretty cool one. And I know they're not for everybody, but this is a 25 Chevrolet Equinox EV RS all-wheel drive electric, and it's only got about 7,500 miles. It's habanero red. It's right out by the street. You can't miss it. And I agree. EVs are not for everybody. I happen to have one, and I love it. But I would invite any of the doubters to come by and come down here and have a test drive with me. You will be mightily impressed. I've got a nice 24 Silverado 2500 Crew Cab Custom 4x4. You can save a heck of a lot of money on that one and have a payment of under $600. Beautiful 23 Tahoe High Country, which is to say top of the line. And that's got the Duramax diesel. And that's now marked down to $57,632. You would be, in the 80 range for that brand new. So we got some good deals going.
That sounds it.
And
Wow.
in addition to that, just to hit a couple of others, got another really nice 22 Equinox we just took in trade this week. 66,000 miles on it. It's an RS, which is the sporty version. And as I mentioned now, we've also got a 21 Ram Crew, 47,000 miles on it. Nice truck. And let's see, I got a 22, double cab Chevy. That's a custom 4x4. And it's got the turbo. So anyway, we've got a good selection, and
Sounds
as I mentioned, finally we've got a break in our allocations, and we're getting stuff in finally. So it's been a little tight, but one of the things we do like to offer is, given the fact that we've got the order book here, and we've got a bunch of stuff spec'd out and on order and in production, let us know what you're looking for. We may well be able to match you up with one of these vehicles that's coming in, and we can give you, put your name on it, give you first dibs. Does not require, any kind of a firm commitment, but basically when it comes in, we look at your trade. We come up with good numbers right out of the box, and if you like it, you'll be driving it away. So it's really as simple as that.
All right. So
Also-
stop. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I was also going to say is that at this point now, every Thursday, John spends a good bit of the day working on orders. So, if you have a very, very specific requirement and we can't match it with something we've got already coming, we can order it for you. So keep that in mind. And also with respect to our used vehicle inventory as being part of the Auto Saver group, we often have the ability to swap stuff in from some of our sister dealerships. If you're looking for a very specific model and we don't have it here on the lot, we may be able to get it for you and bring it down to you. And finally, I will also say is if you are, having any kind of schedule issue and you can't make it in and you've got something specific that you want to see, give me a call. And if it's within about an hour's drive, I'll bring it to you. So please keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to hear. That's service right there. Senior sales and leasing professional Ted Cooper. And who's helping you out there in the front office?
Well, we've got great help. As we know, we've got John Gilmore as our sales manager, and Grace Zambon runs the finance department. And then we've got Brianna Bean, who's our delightful sales lady, along with Rob Ward. So we've got a good team here. And we also have the French Bulldog named Minnie, who is our beloved unofficial mascot. She's here generally about 5 days a week. We're her daycare providers, and she's the best goodwill ambassador we could possibly ask for. She gives everybody face licks.
Oh, she's cute. Stop in and check it out.
Yeah.
Talk with the gang at Wells River Chevrolet. That's a great update. We'll do it again in a couple weeks if you're ready for that.
Looking forward to it.
All right, Ted. Enjoy the weekend. Some pretty nice weather's coming.
You as well.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ted. Right there at Wells River Chevrolet. That's the biweekly update from Wells River Chevrolet and Ted Cooper. Meanwhile, it is pushing in at 7:56. We're still in the mid-60s, heading for the low 80s. We'll have more weather forecasts right after these. Most of us are not prepared to plan and carry out a funeral ceremony when a loved one passes. Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville understands the importance of a meaningful and personalized funeral to assist with the healing process during mourning. Their licensed funeral directors know the key decisions a grieving family must make. They will take the time to assist you with the necessary and required legal documentation and handles all of the details to create a unique and meaningful funeral or memorial service for your loved one. For additional information, contact Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And a presentation of Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville, locally owned and family operated. They're online at rickerfh.com, and for additional information, call 603-747-2717.
It took several days, but finally, yesterday, Celtic head coach Joe Mazzulla took questions about Brad Stevens and the unexpected trade of Jaylen Brown.
What I focus on the most is really just the respect, the appreciation, and the gratitude for what he did for 10 years. And I mean, he was a Celtic longer than I have been. He was here before me. He set the tone and started that, and was a part of special things. And that, to me, is what we have to focus on more: the respect as a competitor and the gratitude for what he's done.
Mazzulla took questions for an extended period of time, highly unusual. Needless to say, the Brad Stevens role in this unexpected trade.
Obviously there's great alignment within the organization, and there's conversations that are always going to be had. But I think in moments like this is where you just trust. You listen, you trust, and you have an understanding and for what they do. I think Brad is one of the absolute best at what he does, and there's just a level of trust that goes into that.
Joe Mazzulla.
More information is coming your way in the 8 o'clock hour. Right now, latest news and information at 8.
AP News, I'm Marcela Sanchez. A series of mysterious unclaimed airstrikes that hit southern Iran are raising questions about who else may be targeting the Islamic Republic. The strikes came after the U.S. said it had finished its attacks and happened yesterday, just as Iran prepared to bury the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Iran has not directly blamed anyone, but one lawmaker warned the United Arab Emirates over allegedly providing support to the U.S. in its campaign against Iran. 8 men have been indicted on murder and terrorism conspiracy charges for their alleged roles in a planned drone and sniper attack on the UFC cage fighting show staged at the White House in June. Spanish authorities say a wildfire has killed at least 11 people in Almeria in southeastern Spain as soaring temperatures gripped much of the country. The AP's Karen Shamas has more.
Some 150 firefighters were battling the blaze, and 220 soldiers from a military emergency unit had been deployed. Local media reported that several victims of the fire were found inside burnt-out vehicles. Authorities have not confirmed the cause of the fire, but said people who called to report it also said that a fallen power line had sparked a blaze that spread rapidly into a nearby forest. Spain has battled frequent and severe heat waves in recent years, and this June, record temperatures in the country led to over 1,000 excess heat-related deaths. I'm Karen Shamas.
France beat Morocco 2-0 yesterday. The team is headed back to the semifinals for the third straight World Cup tournament. More stories at apnews.com. This is AP News.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
South Florida's Palm Beach Airport has changed its name to the President Donald J. Trump International Airport. The 3-letter airport code will change from PBI to DJT on August 18th. AP correspondent Donna Warder reports on the effect Trump administration cuts in aid have had on women's organizations throughout the world.
The UN agency focusing on women says at least 1 million women have lost access to humanitarian and other critical support because of budget cuts over the last 18 months. UN Women spoke to 855 women's organizations in 52 countries. They say that since the Trump administration took office in January 2025 and began cutbacks in foreign aid, they can't meet current levels of need anymore. The U.S. was the UN's biggest donor. I'm Donna Warder.
More on this and other stories at apnews.com. I'm Marcela Sanchez, AP News.
At 4 minutes after 8, a good morning. Stephen, John, and friends, right up until 9 this morning. 67, heading for the low 80s today. Compliments of Alarm Co. in Bradford, a security and protection company. They specialize in home and business security, fire systems, video surveillance, safes, audiovisual equipment, networking, and phone systems. In addition to installation services, Alarm Co. also provides monitoring and repair services for a wide variety of systems. Alarm Co. of Bradford bringing you the latest weather. Protect the things that matter with the help of Alarm Co., a security and protection company based in Bradford. Alarm Co. specializes in home and business security fire systems, video surveillance, safes, audiovisual equipment, networking, and phone systems. In addition to installation services, Alarm Co. also provide monitoring and repair services for a wide variety of systems. With the help of Alarm Co., you will be able to view your property from the palm of your hand. For a free, no-obligation quote and see what Alarm Co. can do for you, visit their website at alarmcovt.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. Updated look at the weather is a service of Alarmco right there in Bradford, and they are locally owned and operated, and they have additional information at their website. Updated weather brought to you by Alarmco, where you can stay notified on what's going on in your home or business even when you're away. Connect your security, lights, locks, thermostats, video, and more for seamless automation and control. You can contact them for a free, no-obligation quote and see what they can do for you. Alarmco, locally owned and operated in Bradford. Glad you could be part of our morning here at Your Country, WYKR. Our current temperature is at 67, and we're heading for the low 80s. A lot of participation in fundraisers that are happening in the YKR listening area this weekend. There's going to be motorcycles, going to be pedal bikes as part of the Proudy is going on. So a lot of fundraisers with bicycles and motorcycles are going to be on the road, a lot of pedestrians and a lot of other activities as we're rolling through summer and a weekend of some pretty nice weather. It is approaching 7 minutes after 8. Coming up in a minute or so, a conversation that Joshua Smith had with Carrie Bogie. That's coming up in just 1 minute, right here, Your Country, YKR.
Well, as Cody Johnson launches his big tour, he has a lot of decisions to make.
We've been looking forward to this for years, of having enough material to go, all right, on Friday night, we're going to play set A. On Saturday night, we're going to play set B. And then next week, we'll play C and D. Like, that's something we've never really been able to do. The problem is that when you have a song like Diamond in My Pocket that is over 15 years old and it's still streaming as high as Till You Can't, it's hard not to play that. So if I go play all new material, somebody's going to say, why didn't you play Dancer Home? Why didn't you play Diamond in My Pocket? And then if I played just the old stuff, everybody like, why didn't you play the new stuff? So if you're out there and you're listening, you have a certain song that you like and you want to see it in the set list, you need to stream it so that we know to play it.
That's it for this week. I'm Shannon McCombs with CDX Country News.
We have a very special guest here in the studio. It's Carrie Bogie. Carrie, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
All right, and you're here to talk about the Nick Bogie Memorial Scholarship Fund fundraiser. Huh?
Yeah.
And it's this Saturday, July 11th.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about the event.
So this will be our 15th year doing the event. It was created after my husband Nick passed away. I wanted something, a way to celebrate him that could bring people joy, not sadness. Really, I wanted it for our kids, a fun event just so people could gather and talk about their dad and reminisce. And it turned into a lot bigger than I ever expected. So two of the areas that we raise money for is obviously the scholarship fund and also New England Donor Services, because Nick was an organ donor at his when he passed away. And we have raised, the scholarship fund is somewhere around $25,000 that we've given out in scholarships, and between 15 and 20 to New England Donor Services. And then over the years, when there's been maybe a family in need, there's been, some horrible accident or just really a big family in need, we've also donated to our community and given back like they did for us.
Right. And as we mentioned that there is the scholarship fund, but also there is the Nick Bogie Workforce Development Award.
Yes, that was created in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember. But we've been able to give an award to someone going into the workforce because that's what Nick did. Nick was not the biggest fan of school, but he wanted to work. So I was like, we got to do something that, Nick would enjoy. And so we've been able to give those out the past few years, which has been awesome.
Right. And as we mentioned, the event is this Saturday. So where is it and what is it?
It's in Barnet.
Okay.
So it's in Barnet. It's the address is 1908 Pearlmont Road. And it starts at 2:00 and it consists of tons of activities for kids. So we have inflatable obstacle courses, inflatable water slides, hay rides through the mountains in Barnet, which is just beautiful, with Nick's tractor being pulled, being driven by my son, our son Braden. So that's always a big, exciting thing. Lots of other fun activities for the kids. I always try to incorporate anything that I can. So this year I'm doing a big bubble station and all sorts of fun. But the main event is the raffle.
Okay.
So we have between 75 and 100 items usually.
Wow.
And they range from a Lotus Stay mat to Patriots tickets to baskets, maple syrup baskets, gift baskets. I mean, just so many different things. So the tickets are $1 a piece or 6 for $5.
Okay.
And some of the bigger items we do price at like $10 tickets. And every single year we've been able to raffle off a giant John Deere safe. So that is a $20 ticket. I mean, this thing is massive. But every year we've had one, and it's kind of people come to put tickets in for that. So
and that thing's so big, you actually need a John Deere to actually
you do. Yeah, it takes a lot of the guys to maneuver that thing. I do go live on Facebook. So you can find me on Facebook, Carrie Daniels Bogie. I do go live that morning, and I show all the items. So you don't have to be here, like at the event, to actually win. You can message me. You can, and let me know what tickets you want. And you can take Venmo and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we've been doing a lot. Last year, I think I did $1,500 on online sales.
Wow.
So there's ways to get there.
And so what's your fundraising goal this year?
I think to continue with what we were able to give out this year for scholarships, we like to, raise between $4,000 and $5,000, but because we do have to, there's expensive to run this event and everything. But I mean, our average is between $7,000 and $10,000.
Right.
So we've been able to do really well. People are so generous, and it's just such a great cause. I think people are just happy to put their money to something that's furthering, youth in our area.
And like you say, and also it's representative of what was important for Nick as well.
Yeah. I think he would just laugh right now at all the craziness that we've done these past 15 years. But I know he'd be super proud of everyone too, especially our kids. Braden's 16 now, driving that tractor. My daughter Breen is 14 now, and she's just super involved in the event. And that's what I wanted. I said, I hope that we can do this until the kids are older and they can really appreciate what this event means.
Right.
And we're here.
Yeah. And like I said, we're talking to Carrie Bogie, and we're talking about the Nick Bogie Memorial Scholarship Fund event that's happening this Saturday, July 11th in Barnet. And remind people of the address.
1908 Pearlmont Road.
Okay. All right. And so talk a little bit about where, some of the scholarship recipients over the years. What have they been? Do you know anything about some of the scholarship recipients?
Yeah, I mean, one of them just graduated from Fairfield University in Connecticut and is going to UVM now to get her doctorate. Wow. Two of the boys last year that we gave the Workforce Development Award are working for Royal Electric. I mean, it's just awesome to see how these kids are, just going on into the world, and I'm so excited to watch them and to be a part of that. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but I want this scholarship and this award to just help in some way. It doesn't have to, I think my main goal was just helping them get what they need for college or get what they need to go out into the workforce. One of the recipients one year said, "Is it okay that I buy winter tires?" And I said, yes, for, a workforce award, absolutely. You need that to get to work.
Right.
You work in Vermont. So that made us feel good.
And how is this also connected? You also had some of the monies raised is to make contributions to the New England Donor Services.
Yeah. So Nick, I made the decision for Nick to become an organ donor. We had never talked about it, and it wasn't on his license, but Nick was a giver. And Nick, we always say, Nick would have given the shirt off his back. Mm. And now here we are 15 years later, and he saved 7 lives with his gift of donation. And so shortly after his death, I became a volunteer with them and shared our story. So that is a huge part of my healing process. My grieving process was just getting out there and sharing, so other families who maybe were going through a similar situation would just feel better. And also just to talk to your family about it. That's been my huge thing, because I struggled a lot in the hospital making that decision at 24 years old.
Right.
So my goal is just to get the word out about organ donation.
Right.
And now we're playing a full circle moment here where my mom actually needs a liver transplant. So we're on the other side of donation, which is something I don't think our family ever expected to be here. But, I'm glad I know a lot about it.
Yeah, and so if people want to learn more, they can just show up, or they can actually go to, as you mentioned, your Facebook page.
Yeah, my Facebook page has a lot of information, but yeah, show up. I saw someone at the parade last week because I set up with all my event information, and he's like, can anyone come to this? I was like, yes. I mean, we usually bring between, I think one year we had almost close to 400 people. So hundreds of people come. It's super fun. We have also a huge dinner that's just by donation. My father-in-law, Chief Bogie, roasts prime rib, ham. Usually he throws anything else he wants to on that, and he roasts it all morning long. We do old-fashioned whole beans in the ground, which he and the kids put in the night before. And we have just tons and tons of food and tons of fun and music, live music by my niece, Jasmine Bogie, who was in the Kingdom All-Stars. So we have a lot of fun. It's one of the best days of my year.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you.
16 minutes after 8 o'clock, let's head to Bradford. Say good morning to Ryan Hollister. He's representing Valley Floors. Good morning, Ryan.
Good day, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, before we get into talking about Valley Floors, have you been to some of the concerts at Lake Maury?
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to hear.
Managed to catch the Shaggy concert last week. I don't think there has ever been, not that I've been here long, but I don't think there's ever been that many people in the town of Fairleigh ever in its history. It was insane. But it was quite an experience. And last night, too, I showed up, and what a vibe. Everyone just coming out. The vendors were all doing their thing, and everyone was getting their food and their snacks. Unfortunately, it did thunderstorm, but we heard a couple songs, and even just the vibe. Just like showing up on a Thursday, it was nice weather, and just hanging out with some people. I got to see some friends. Yes. It's always a good time, and I meet so many people at these events, and I see so many people from either music world or Valley Floors world, and it's kind of amazing sometimes to like have a random person run up to me and be like, I have to show you my bathroom, and I'm like, wait, who are you?
No kidding.
It takes me a minute to like adjust, but like to have people be so excited after a project that like months later they'll like track me down with my long hair and be like, you're the guy who helped me pick the thing. It looks so good. It's kind of a wholesome moment, and it's interesting to be like, while I'm at work, I'm just doing my thing, but these are all community members that are changing their houses and like just making upgrades and solving problems, and to help your community facilitate that thing is always fun. So it's cool to see everybody at the show too.
I bet it is. So what are you working on for projects right now that are hot, Ryan?
Oh man, let's see. Like here at Valley Floors, we got a couple new staff members. I mean, we're just working on just keeping the showroom current, up to date, getting some new materials in, just sort of facilitating that process. Like we have so many samples, and it can be overwhelming at first. So like when you come in, take a moment to process, and then just ask for some help to get pointed in the right direction, because we have moved some things around a little bit, but we've got some great selections. So the tile room is looking really, really good. Everything's like clean and organized, and can really facilitate that like creative process when you're coming here to design shower stuff or just floors and small projects, big projects. Everything's in full swing here for sure.
For the most part, if I stop in and I start ordering, I don't know, hardwood flooring or rugs or tile, what usually is the turnaround time for most of that stuff, Ryan?
The relationship that we have with most of our suppliers, they usually have stock. Things are available within a week. Shipping's a little strange right now, but usually a week. Most of our main suppliers are every Monday and Thursday, so that's like rock solid. And then just depending on, from what supplier it is, it usually will not take that long. But I would still recommend coming in, and if you're thinking about doing a project, just drop in and plant the seed, because it certainly will facilitate things when you come back to make a final decision and dial things in.
Sure.
You'll be that much more prepared, and we'll be that much more prepared to kind of like guide you along, having seen where what you were looking at before. Yeah. But cash and carries, like project materials and stuff like that, sometimes that trip all the way to Home Depot is just way too much. There's a lot of little things that we have, albeit specific to flooring needs and like hardwood. But definitely stop in and grout, latticrete, any kind of tile work stuff. If you're doing a small project on your own home or you're a contractor and you're swinging by, stop on in. Let's get your information and we can start an account. And sometimes it can just be really helpful to send your customers through to the store to like just check things out, and that might facilitate your process as a contractor, kind of construction worker of some sort. So that's always we like facilitating that as well and building relationships with the builders. It's always a mutually beneficial thing when we can help a project move along and stay on timeline.
Yeah. And got the great service after the sale when you shop locally at Valley Floors right there in Bradford. Of course, the owner, Ryan Chase, and then, of course, I chat periodically with Greg Hodge. He's got all the window treatments. And Ryan, what do you think your specialty is there, Ryan?
Specialty?
Yeah.
I know a lot about the carpets. Like when I flip through these boards now, like I almost have like a somewhat photographic memory, at least when it comes to like texture, color, feeling, design of the carpets. So when someone comes in with like a swatch and it's like this super particular color, I'll be like, okay, I know there's got to be at least like 3 or 4 of these in here, and then I'll kind of remember where they were in the showroom, and then you just go on the hunt. And it's kind of like an I Spy, and you're trying to get a feel for someone's preferences. You know, what looks cozy to one person might look like a hair just like, I don't know, just like all rough and not cozy to the other person. And what looks clean and sophisticated to one person might look sterile to another person. So you have to get a feel for their vibe first, and then try to encourage them to get their hands in it too, because it is like an interactive experience. Like you're going to be walking all over this. Some people are just looking at it with their eyes, and you got to like experience it. You got to have the floor experience while you're doing it, and then you never have to think about it again because you'll just be enjoying it. But it can be a little fun, I have to say, to go on a hunt, either for carpet or when people are doing shower design. There's just so many tiles and colors and textures that once you get an idea of where someone's mind is at, helping facilitate that creative process and seeing like their vision come to life with the materials that you have is kind of rewarding. So that part's always great. And sometimes I have good ideas, and sometimes I'm just throwing wild cards at people, and you'll see their brains just light up.
I guess that's like all of us, isn't it, Ryan?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So you're typically there. People don't need to make an appointment, but they can if they would like to. But most of the time, the hours at Valley Floors they can contact you are what?
That would be, we're open 8 to 5. I think if you have a project in mind and you're going to come in and take a look at things, 4 o'clock, 4:30 is a good time, so that we can spend some time with you and just give you a lay of the land and like I said, plant that seed. But yeah, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, come on through anytime, make a call, set it up right before you come through if that will facilitate things, and bring all your materials that you're matching color to. Take a whole cabinet, door, like paint chips, all those things. If you have any samples of anything, bring a pillow with you. That's, take a nap. That's fine.
Anything that will help out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Ryan. We know you have a busy day in store. We certainly appreciate you jumping on board and chatting with us. We look forward to our next conversation and the update from Valley Floors. Enjoy the weekend.
Oh, you as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you. Ryan Hollister representing Valley Floors in Bradford as we prepare to check out the weather forecast again at 24 minutes after 8. We'll be making a phone call to North Haverhill Agway. We'll be chatting with Jeremy Beckley, of course, along with his wife, the owner of North Haverhill Agway. That's all coming up in the next few minutes right here at Your Country. We're taking a look at the menu that's being served, the specials at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River, and then we'll take a look at the weather forecast for the listening area, compliments of PTO's Repair. But first, the Robie Farm Mushroom Swiss Burger with French fries or tater tots is available today. How about spaghetti with meat sauce and garlic bread, Sloppy Joe's with French fries, or the summer plate consisting of baked beans, potato salad, and a hot dog. Barbecue pork bulky with French fries. Sounds good. And so does the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle. The soup is fish chowder. The seafood available today includes haddock, scallops, strip clams. When you stop by and enjoy one of these or 2 or 3 of the specials being served today at Tuttle's Family Diner, downtown Wells River. And they will also be offering their regular menu. They can order out at 757-3333. Tuttle's Family Diner, downtown Wells River. Taking a look at the forecast now for the listening area. This includes all of northeast Vermont, northwest New Hampshire, the upper Connecticut River Valley, and is being brought to you by PTO's Repair, your local Fisher authorized dealer, Fisher Snowplows, Fisher Sanders at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh, just 3.5 miles south of the traffic light in Bradford. Also available online or by calling 802-222-6152.
PTOs wants you to know.
If you are planning to purchase a new Fisher plow or sander this year, now is the time. Our 2026 order will be here soon. If you are wondering what plow best fits your vehicle, go to our website and click E-Match or give us a call. PTO's Repair, 2320 Route 5 Fairleigh, or on the web at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, we'll go to the phone again. We're heading to North Haverhill Agway at 28 minutes after 8. Say good morning to Jeremy Beckley. How you doing, Jeremy?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. All right. You got to love electronics nowadays. Sometimes they work really great, and sometimes they kind of give you issues, don't they?
That's for sure.
All right. North Haverhill Agway, Jeremy Beckley is, of course, the owner, along with wife Heather. How are things going so far? What do you got, a year or two under your belt now there?
I worked for Dana for a year, Dana and Julie for a year before we purchased it, and then, we probably owned it I think it's been a little over a year and a half.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk about garden care. Some of the things that are available at North Haverhill Agway this time of the year that are important to our listeners.
Well, lawn we can always do anytime, of course. And we always got our fertilizers, which is a good thing to have, use. You've got people start with their gardens and put the fertilizer in it, and all of a sudden they'll say, well, my garden's really not doing that good all of a sudden. Well, it's just like us. We got to eat to grow and survive, so you got to fertilize a couple times a month. And then we're fully stocked in soils, mulches, and our people.
So I assume you got a good selection of all this stuff on board for the next few months at North Haverhill Agway.
We are definitely fully stocked and ready to.
All right, so plants are coming into season big time. Whether you're a commercial grower or you're kind of the backyard guy that does their best. What's eating our plants nowadays, and what do you got for bug killers and controls?
Yeah, the bugs seem to be a pain in the butt.
Yep.
We got a good product called 7, which is a really good product. Good product called 8, which is a dust on plus a spray. Another one is Captain Jack's, which we're trying to grow a lot. That's organic. An organic spray, which a lot of people are asking for organic now.
Yeah, they certainly are. I hear a lot of conversation in regards to that. So you've got a lot of stuff on board that will help out with taking care of the bugs.
We certainly do.
Good. All right, let's head on to lawn care because grub control, I know I'm chatting with Dana for a long time over the years. He gets into that grub control thing, some of the things that might be coming into the season that you can tell us about, Jeremy.
Yes, the grubs can be a pain in the butt. We always say put that down around the 4th of July, which is a good time to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You got your ants, your fleas, and all that stuff that are a pain in the butt. That we have plenty of stuff down here to help you take care of those as well.
Yeah, it seems like the ants have really been coming on strong this year for some reason. Are your customers saying that as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people come down and say about the ants, but we have got plenty of stuff down here to help take care of the ants and hopefully help you out.
Yeah. In regards to fleas and ticks, speaking more specifically for animals, do you have all of that on board for our four-legged friends?
We do. We carry a couple of different varieties of stuff that will help with your fleas and your ticks.
Okay, good. All right, now lime, fertilizers, that type of stuff. We're heading into the middle of summer. You know, it did get dry there for a week or two, but the rain last night seemed to help out just a little bit. What have you got on board there for lime and fertilizers?
So our lime, we got a couple different varieties of lime. We have a fast lime that's just a really good product. It covers 10,000 square feet if you get a 50-pound bag, which is good. We have our granule lime. We have our pulverized lime. We have a hydrated lime. So we have a couple different limes that's good. We got plenty of fertilizer in stock. We also have this new spruce, it's called Spruce Play for a weed killer that's safe for pets and people if you use as directed. And a lot of people are asking for a product that's safe for their pets.
Okay. And grass seed. There's all kinds of choices of grass seed nowadays, it seems like.
We do have quite a variety of grass seed, yes.
Yeah, that's good to hear. All right. And that thing about lime, you put it down now, but it's not going to work immediately. That's the type of stuff that's going to work over time, I assume.
It is.
All right. A lot of people doing food plots. Maybe you can give us an update in regards to that, Jeremy.
Yes, we carry Imperial Whitetail food plot product, and we have pretty well stocked in that as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And household pests. We're coming into that time of the year. I know we just talked about grub control with the ants and the fleas and the ticks, but how about the household pests this time of the year?
Yes, you got to get rid of those spiders and the wasps and the hornets and all that stuff. And we are fully stocked in products that will help people with that stuff. They got to come on down and see what we got.
Yeah. I know that I've experienced some wasps in one of my outbuildings, and I just keep a can of spray in there, and it seems to help a lot. We're heading into that time of the year. People have their expensive blacktop driveways. How can you help out there at North Haverhill Agway, Jeremy?
Well, we have our driveway sealer stuff. We have crack filler products. We have crack patch. We also have blacktop patch stuff. So we do okay with that stuff. We're pretty good stocked up for that stuff. They want to come on down and see what we got.
Mm-hmm. All right. And fencing. People, I don't know if they realize how much fencing that you have on board there.
We do carry a pretty good variety of weld wire fencing, chicken fencing. We have hardwood posts. We have electric fencing products. We're pretty well stocked up on that. And, of course, this time of year, people seem to be having problems with the bears getting into the stuff, of course.
Yeah, so you got electric fences.
We have electric fences. Come on down. We can help you out with electric fences and protect those beehives or possibly your trash or whatever you got to protect.
Yeah, we had Neil Robie in here earlier, and he was talking about how you can electrify your garbage cans out there to kind of keep the bear and some of the wildlife away. So I'm sure that you guys can help out with that as well.
Oh, we definitely can. Yeah, that seems to be a big issue with the bears. When they come out, they get pretty hungry. They go looking for that trash.
Oh, they certainly are. So what about bird feeding season? You know, be here before you know it. And I know there are some people that still do take the chance and feed the birds this time of the year, but are people preparing for the bird feeding season?
Some people seem to feed them all year round. They seem to just like to see the birds and enjoy watching them. And we have bird feeders. We have plenty of bird seed. And we have, of course, the Huntington mix. That's our own mix we make right here, which is a very, very popular seed. Yeah. We sell a lot of that. That's a real good seed.
Certainly. All right.
And that seems to be real popular.
Okay. Stock up. And, of course, they got the feeders and also the bird feed. All right. And people, I assume, are beginning to stock up for the heating season.
We have already been selling some wood pellets. We carry 3 different brands, of course. We got the Wood Pellet Fusion, which is a mix of softwood and hardwood. We also have our Orford, which is a 100% hardwood, and we have our Cubex, which also is 100% hardwood. They're all very good products.
Yeah, right there, Route 10 in North Haverhill Agway. I believe there's only like 6 days out of the course of the year where you guys close down.
That's true. Yeah, we're open 7 days a week. Take those few holidays off. Besides that, we're here to help you out.
All right. Any final comments today, Jeremy?
Yeah, make sure you guys come on down and see us at the North Haverhill Fair.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We'll have a booth set up down there, yeah.
Yeah, North Haverhill Fair begins on the 22nd and goes through the 26th. Yeah, North Haverhill Agway always has a great booth at the North Haverhill Fair, so yeah, check it out.
Yeah, come on down and see us.
All right, Jeremy. We'll look forward to next conversation coming up in just a few weeks, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, have fun at the fair.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much. There you go. Of course, Jeremy Beckley and his wife, the owners of North Haverhill Agway, after many, many years of success with Dana and Julie Huntington. We'll be taking another look at the weather forecast momentarily for all of northeast Vermont, northwest New Hampshire, the upper Connecticut River Valley, and then a conversation with Trivium Life Services. Joshua Smith chatted with a representative from their office yesterday. The weather is being brought to you by Housewright Construction, which is located on Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. They're also online at housewright.net. How do you define home? Is it your sanctuary? A reflection of your style and values? A playground for your children and grandchildren? However you define it, Housewright Construction can help you create the house that says, welcome home to you. Housewright is your expert Vermont and New Hampshire home builder. They have been partnering with clients since 1985. They build and renovate homes that fulfill their clients' exact visions. Housewright Construction is proud to be able to say that the foundation of their business continues to be their enduring relationships with clients, who return to them as their home visions grow and who refer them to their friends. Try letting Housewright be the builder of the home of your dreams. Welcome home with Housewright. Housewright Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at housewright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm, highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you. 8:38 and 67. We're heading for the low 80s today. And there you have it. Looking at the weekend weather, compliments of Housewright Construction, located on Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. They're also online. Check them out at housewright.net.
We're excited to have back here in the studio with us Cheyenne Dunnells, who is the Director of Residential Services over at Averte / Trivium Life Services. Cheyenne, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So last month you were on, you had your voice. So you were only on for a couple minutes.
Yes, I was sick last month.
But now you sound great.
I'm thriving.
There you go. See? And so we mentioned too is like, so as the Director of Residential Services for Averte, are you based out of the office in Bradford or?
Yes, we have 3 locations in Bradford and I pivot between all 3. Mainly, I'm at one of our smaller sites in Bradford, kind of overseeing, helping out as program manager until we get that role filled. But otherwise, I'm hopping around and I get to see everybody from clients to staff throughout all of our Bradford locations.
And so remind people too what Averte does.
So we are a long-term mental health facility. We have long-term, short-term clients. We help those living with chronic and severe mental illness transition into jobs, into their homes, wherever they may come from. We provide clinical services, residential services. We do a variety of activities. So it's just sometimes it's for people to be for a while. Other times it's a nice short stay for people to just recoup and get the support they need. Because
I remember when Shana was on a couple months ago, she mentioned that you sometimes you have like some residents have been there for like 30 plus years.
Yeah, 30. We've been around a while and we still have clients who might be considered OGs there. And we have people, like I said, come in and maybe do 3 months, at a time. Or we've had people who've gotten services and then they've left and they've come back. So, we try to create the best experience for everyone and give them the best care that they can, regardless of how long that they're with us.
So as the Director of Residential Services, what does the people have, like an apartment or they have a room? How does that look?
We have, houses. People live on site in our houses. We have a few apartments and some people get their own housing and receive wraparound services from us. So it looks a little different for everyone, depending on what their goals are.
So you have people that are like on site and then like you have like outpatient.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the percentage of like on site and like inpatient and outpatient?
So the majority of our clients are on site. We have a handful, give or take, that are in their own apartments.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know too, one of the benefits that we got from COVID is that we all had a shared global trauma.
Mhm.
We all got to experience mental health,
Oh, yeah.
everybody firsthand. Have you noticed too, since pre-COVID and post-COVID, have you noticed there is less of a stigma when it comes to the conversations about mental health?
Yes, actually. I think not everyone, a lot more people are open to having those conversations. I think we've seen the shift in males, especially when it comes to talking about mental health and asking for support. Pre-COVID, I think there definitely was a stigma, I think in our smaller community, but as times have as we've moved through the last 6 years, which is crazy to think about, I see that understanding and acceptance really expand beyond our walls and into Bradford, outside of Bradford, and across the globe even. It's amazing to see how much appreciation people have for other people's struggle, so to speak.
Right.
You know?
And I know too, it's just like through my male friends. I remember growing up, if any of my male friends would complain about something, it's usually about a back pain or their knees. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing how like the destigmatization of mental health. I have my buddies just talking about how they're feeling now. Yep. And at first, like, it's weird when they first talk about it, it's almost like fishing. Just they're going to test the line. Is it okay if I say this to Josh? And then I just grab it and it's like, yeah. And we have a conversation about it. And then I talk about my personal life stressors. And it's amazing now that we see, as you mentioned, Cheyenne, it seems as though we're not there yet.
Nope.
But we're definitely, I guess, over the threshold.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone needs a person to talk to, regardless if it's a friend, a therapist, radio host. So I think those, having those moments of vulnerability are really important, regardless of your gender.
And also too, it's not unknown for us here in the northern New England. The only way we survived for the last 200, 300 years is asking your neighbors for help and just helping your neighbors. Yeah. And it's not just, can you help push my car out of the snow? It's now, hey, I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
So,
and I love it.
Yeah. And so we're talking to Cheyenne Dunnells, who is the Director of Residential Services over at Averte / Trivium Life Services. And you guys work with veterans too.
We do. We currently don't have any, but we have had a few in the past, and that's also been a wonderful experience, getting to expand the services that we provide. We've had a lot of changes over the last, I can't even remember, like a long time, 40 years at least since we've existed. A lot of changes, and we just keep continuing to grow and help people regardless of where they come from.
Now, if somebody has a question about mental, can they call Averte?
Yes, we have our admissions line. You can Google it. It comes right up.
Yeah.
And Shannon is our admissions director, and she can, help point people in the right direction. If we're not the right fit, we always want to make sure people are getting the help that they receive, whether it's with us or not. If you have questions about what we provide, absolutely give us a call.
Right. And also, too, just so our listeners to know, Cheyenne Dunnells, you are a local. So you went to school. So remember, you went to school both in Oxbow and Woodsville.
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
Both sides of the river.
Yep. Currently living on the New Hampshire side.
Right.
Working in Vermont.
So Vermont can claim you, and also New Hampshire can claim you.
That's right.
Yeah. As one of their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ride or die for both.
And if people have, and so where's the best place they can kind of go and learn about Averte? Is there a website?
Our website, averte.com.
Okay.
Everything you want to know from our, short-term stays, long-term stays, who we are, how long we've been around, the clients we serve, all that fun stuff.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Cheyenne, any final comments?
I think I'm just so excited to be able to come here and talk about the work that I do. This is my second time here, and I look forward to the conversations to come and hope that I can share some knowledge about our program and our wonderful clients.
That's right. Yeah. Cheyenne Dunnells. Be here for the next, at least 10 or 20 years.
At least.
All right. Thank you so much, Cheyenne.
Thank you.
YKR thanks Fairleigh and Monroe for choosing your country.
At 8:51 and 67 degrees. Updated look at the weather forecast. Compliments of Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. 2 locations taking care of all your needs. Right there on Route 5 in St. Johnsbury and next to Wells River Chevrolet. Dad's 4x Tool and Supply.
I always wanted to be a left fielder. Elmo, the folks at Dad's 4x Tool and Supply say you're pretty far out in left field already. Why? That's the left fielder's name. I want you to tell me the name of the player in left field. Why? I want to be a left fielder. Why? Because he plays center field. You're driving me crazy. Don't let looking for tools, hardware, or propane gas drive you crazy. See Dad's 4x Tool and Supply with locations in St. Johnsbury and Wells River. And yes, Dad's got gas. I think I'll just think about being a pitcher.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: some clouds and patches of early fog, maybe a brief early shower, becoming partly sunny and not as warm. Highs 80 to 85. Tonight, clearing, cooler and less humid, some patches of valley fog forming, lows in the 50s. Saturday, any valley fog burning off by mid-morning, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, seasonably cool, highs in the 70s to near 80. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And thank you. This look at the weather has been brought to you by Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. They're in St. Johnsbury on Route 5 and right here in downtown Wells River. Stop in, check it out. You'll be amazed, you'll be surprised at what Dad's has to offer you. It is 8:52, 67 degrees.